All right, now we're unmuted on YouTube. How's everybody doing today? No mic? How about now? Am I good now? Wow. Should be good now. Let me turn this music down. I can't believe, dude, this is literally AI generated music, by the way. This is AI generated music. Somehow I have to appeal because it thinks I stole something, which is nuts. Yeah, what do you guys think of the post-punk synthwave vibe? This is a post-punk style. Appeal not approved. Insane. Well, guys, gotta restart the live because my stream is now restricted. So, I'll be back in like 1 minute. Cool. I'm gonna restart the stream on TikTok. I guess it doesn't really matter on YouTube, but yeah. Let me restart this real quick. Okay. Re-up now on TikTok. Boom. How's everybody on YouTube doing? Bro, hey bro, you gonna do another philosophy 101? I am eventually going to be doing more classes, yes. I do plan on eventually doing like certain topics, but dedicating like a full stream's worth of time into it. Yeah, YouTube's not getting restarted, guys. It's only the TikTok stream that had to get restarted. The TikTok stream somehow got flagged, even though that I'm using AI music. It somehow still got flagged for stealing content, which is insane. And then my appeal didn't even get approved either, which is wild. Absolutely abhorrent. Sorry, I just want to also let you guys know this in advance real quick. This duration, live design. Restriction ended. Okay, cool. It put my stream back to where it needs to be. Angry Medic for $20 says, thanks for the great content, always informative and fun to watch. I appreciate that very much, man. Deeply appreciate it. Goes towards the fund for going to DebateCon 6. It seems that we are currently at, let's see here. Yeah, I read it almost about $100. 100 something dollars or so raised. Not including the 20 memberships that we got last live. Not including that. Which is cool, man. Super cool. You know? Wow, that was so far behind. Huh. All right. That was weird. How's everybody doing today anyway? I haven't really actually talked to anybody. I have Orthodox question. All right, based. Hold on. Oh, I LARP, based off of our last interaction, bro, like I'm not really going to end up interacting with you if you want me to be real. You're not a very genuine guy, and you kind of just like yelling and cursing and insulting. So I don't really care to engage with that. What's up, YB? Yeah, nothing much. God bless. Mm-hmm. No, I mean I don't think it's purely semantics. I think that maybe when it started, it was semantics, but they developed an entire metaphysical position around Mia-phisitism. I can't hear guest. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, yep. YouTube is not functioning properly. Give me a second. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Hold on. Give me just 1 second here. I have to change one of my desktop audio things. All right, speak now.
Hello, hello, hello.
There we go. Now it's
All right.
working. Alrighty.
Gotcha.
So one, Angry Medic, thank you so much for becoming a member, especially at the homie tier. That's very legit. So I appreciate that heavily. Anyway, yeah, no. So I think that it used to be a semantic issue, man. But the problem is that people basically just kept sending it and continued and kept like, for example, like Severus kind of like sealed it in, you know. Like
Okay.
Severus built like this entire metaphysical argumentation behind their position that originally may have been just semantics, which then kind of like further sealed in the heresy that they were holding to.
Okay.
Because in our view, right, there is no such thing as quote unquote Mia-physitism. Right? There's diophysitism and then there's monophysitism. So if you're a
Right.
Mia-physite, we believe that you collapse into monophysis, just like Eutyches does.
Gotcha.
And
Like it's almost leading to that.
yeah, like the same. They have the same type of argument against us. They think that we're Nestorians,
Right.
right? So like
So,
it's kind of just like a flip flop.
now I'm not like really arguing for like Oriental, but I just want like clarification on this because they would say because like I know what the EO position is that it's two natures distinct but not mixed, not separate, and then they would regurgitate that and say the same thing. It's just that like they're perfectly in union and also not mixed and not confusion. So
Hmm.
what's really like the difference if both like where they just regard it or say that it's one nature, but in fact they do realize that it's two natures, but then we just say it's two natures and stop right there. It's kind of like how like we as Eastern Orthodox we say it's just a mystical way of like the Eucharist, like becoming the body of Christ, while like Catholics would add on transubstantiation as a extra detail. Like,
Hmm.
wouldn't you say that it's just an extra detail for them, where in fact we both believe in two natures?
I mean, like when it comes to like two or one composite nature, a lot of
Hmm.
the stuff that is like taught by the Miaphysites, it's mostly just an enumeration problem. It's not
Hmm.
necessarily like the fact that like they actually believe that there's only just one actual ousia, right? They
Right.
don't think that there's only one ousia in Christ. They do profess two ousia in Christ. They just
Hmm.
can't enumerate two of them, right? They can
Gotcha.
say that there is a human ousia. They can say that there is a divine ousia, and then they can say that they're even really distinct from each other. But you can't say that there's two of them because they believe that once you enumerate two things, that automatically necessitates that they are divided from each other. And in their view, of course, because they came from like the way that the Alexandrians kind of held their definitions, right? In their view, where there is ousia, there is hypostasis, right? And so
Oh yeah,
if
because they
there,
use it interchangeably with nature and person, where
yeah,
we make it specifically for person, not just for nature.
yes. And so
Reference.
if we basically say that there's two ousias in Christ after the
Hmm.
union, in their view, in their culture, they're hearing two persons automatically,
Oh,
two
okay.
hypostases after the union, because
Hmm.
that where there is a hypostasis, there is an ousia, and vice versa. So if there's two ousia, there has to be two hypostases in their view. That's why that they don't
Gotcha.
like our position, and they say that we're Nestorian, because Nestorius' view, of course, was two hypostases after the union.
Hmm. Gotcha.
That's the
Gotcha.
issue there.
Right. Okay. Completely understand that. Thank you for that. And then just one more question, right? Let's say between us and the cops. I mean, I already kind of know this answer. Just kind of more like a confirmation, right?
Mhm.
It's like we're all just going to heaven. Like, what's really the is the problem really just for sake of who's right? You're just saying like, well, this is that, like kind of harmless, just arguing, right? Which is like not bad at all. Like this is facts and this is facts. But whether it costs us our salvation or not, does it really matter to that point?
We are called to the unity of the faith. And if these people are refusing the correct faith and they're rejecting ecumenical councils due to the fact that they hold to certain heresies, then their salvation is on the line due to that. I'm not saying that if there's like some 75-year-old grandma who doesn't understand the difference between one layer and two, or one nature and two natures, that she's damned to hell because she doesn't understand the difference. What I'm saying is that if you actively profess against the Orthodox Church, then your salvation is automatically just in jeopardy due to that. Because if you, if you're a Coptic, for example, you're Coptic Orthodox, then you at least only affirm the first three councils. You affirm Nicaea, Constantinople I, and Ephesus, but they reject everything after that. They reject everything after that. If those other things in those other councils are necessary in order for salvation to be the case, then they're rejecting major pieces of the faith that are necessary for salvation, because they're rejecting the main aspects of the faith. Like, yes, even though that most of the Coptics obviously venerate icons, right? They do venerate icons, but they don't have a council that actually dogmatizes that. Right. And then as well as argumentations regarding the wills in Christ and the energies in Christ, which is what the fifth and the sixth council were for, or condemning Origen. Origen was universally condemned at the fifth council. So, you know, when you think about it that way, right, there is, hold on one second.
They're missing out on a lot of corrections.
Yeah, they're missing out on a lot of things that they could be severely incorrect with. Right.
So do they not even hold to the energies, the operations?
They hold to EED. Yeah, I mean they have different views on like what the distinction is.
I got disprove EED right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one's going against it.
Watch this.
Oh, okay.
If papal infallibility, I can't do it.
If papal infallibility is true, EED is false.
Hello,
Premise 2, papal infallibility is true, therefore EED is false. Right.
I don't even. I would like to give an argument.
Love you, bad J, man. Oh,
I don't even agree to that premise. I don't even agree with that argument. Dumbass argument.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I think that Gnosticism is the truth.
That's gay.
I have a friend who's going to educate you.
What?
Do you want to be educated?
On Gnosticism?
Yes.
Are you talking about Abraxas?
What?
Hey, who's gonna educate me?
I don't know. Just let them up.
Who?
What? Like which one, brother?
Yeah, which one?
All of them.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know what's happening. All right. Anyway, what's up, Talon and Middle Eastern?
Yo, what up?
Nothing much, man.
I just had a question. So I was going through this guy's page. His name's like allegedly Ian or whatever. He had this premise thing against God, and I wanted some clarity on it. So basically, his argument was like, if God is outside of time, then he can't create anything or cause anything, because according to him, causes have to be prior to the effect, which implies time. So I was just wondering, like, how would you go about like solving or talking about God when it comes to time? Is he outside of it? How does that work?
Wait. Say that again with like the main premise areas, like the main premises. Yeah. If orthodoxy is true, why did ILARP mutilate you? I know for a fact that you're literally just ILARP on an alt account, bro. Like, dude, if you think that ILARP actually mutilated me on that, all he did was just start doing ad hominems after I gave the entire position for the impossibility of the contrary. So you're ridiculous if you actually think that he somehow mutilated me. Name one argument that he made. Name one argument he made against me. Because he didn't even have an argument. All he did was insult me.
Bryce's haircut his ass. Therefore, Orthodoxy's false.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, that's a good ass argument if you ask me, bro.
No, your haircut's good, bro. Don't even let that.
The whole debate community saw your loss, bro. Nobody cares about whoever I LARP when I'm bored is, dude. Nobody saw that conversation, by the way. Dude, there was like freaking 6 people in that live when we watched that, by the way, when we debated.
Damn. No, yeah. What? Wait. You know the whole David argument where it's like, or not David, I don't know. I think like the argument is this, right? Like it was prophesied that the empire would fall, right? One of those like 5 empires, Babylon, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
That Rome was going to get destroyed. And the argument is, well, Jesus was there and Rome did not get destroyed until way later after. And it wasn't by him. Now, I'm pretty sure like the church fathers do say like it got destroyed in a sense of like Jesus took like it destroyed like the Roman Empire being interpreted as evil, because in tradition Rome is literally like the embodiment of evil. So Jesus defeating evil is Jesus defeating Rome in that sense. But how would you interpret that? How would you reconcile how that like prophecy doesn't quote unquote come about? Because like I refuted it, but like I don't know if that's the right interpretation you would go about it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like I don't usually get very far into like the whole Daniel prophecy issue, because like as soon as somebody starts attempting to like interpret the Bible, and they're not a Christian, right, in of themselves, and they're not connected to the church, I basically just ask them how they know that their interpretation is actually the case, right? So like if somebody wants to come and try to personally interpret the scriptures to try to refute my position, I don't even like grant that being a thing. Right?
Or, like you don't even grant that position being an actual.
No, I mean like I just simply tell them, I'm like, look, like who, on whose authority can you actually interpret these scriptures if you're believing that in a sense they are divinely inspired to a degree? Because they're not, they don't completely reject it. They think that the Old
Christian
Testament
interpretation is wrong.
Yeah, they think that the Christian interpretation is wrong, as well as some pieces of it are corrupted, but not the entire thing.
Yeah, which is cherry picking.
Yeah, so like you know, like if I like for example, they'll talk all day about Daniel 2, Daniel 7. If I show them something else in Daniel 2 or Daniel 7 that they disagree with, they'll just throw it out and say it's corrupted.
That literally happened whenever we me and my, I think you already know him, his name is Chusky, but we went over other in Daniel 2 and Daniel 5. He was like, well, we don't take on that. It was like, well, how can you take from that part but not the other? It's just
Hey, I found those exact premises. If you still
yeah, sure. Let me write them down.
Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so his first premise was if God created the universe, then he's outside of time.
Okay, I would agree with that. Go ahead.
Well, let me go to the second one really quickly. Let me go to my camera.
Cyril doesn't have valid succession. That's just demonstrably wrong, bro.
Premise 2, he said, a cause is either prior to or simultaneous to the effect.
The cause is either prior to or simultaneous to?
To its effect, yeah.
Yes, to its effect. Okay.
And then let me get premise 3.
What do you mean, why did you block me? Because there's people that just keep coming in here and just saying like they're just actually lying. Talking about like somebody freaking like talking all about this conversation I had with Ilart, bro. Nobody watched that conversation. I didn't mute you, Abraxas, also. You came up here and then you left, so I'm not really sure like what you're talking about. Okay, keep going. Everybody's lying today.
If God is outside of time, then he is not prior or simultaneous to anything. That's the last premise. I'll give you the conclusion too. And then his conclusion is God is not the cause of anything.
How does that follow?
I have no idea. That's
just a non sequitur.
You literally lost to ILARP and now you're running for me. Abraxas, do you even know who that is? What's going on today? What's happening?
Yeah, that argues a non sequitur, bro.
I think he's trying to say that like in order to create anything, you have to be in time because you have to be before something.
Okay, so after looking at it, the cause is either prior or simultaneous to its effect. I would have to say that would have to be, if it's talking about something infinite, it would be something that's logically prior. Right, so it's logically prior to its effect, which is fine. Right, so this is kind of like premise 2. It seems like it's just presupposing that there has to be time involved in order for something to be prior or simultaneous. But prior and simultaneous, right? Like that's simply just saying that it is something that occurs before, and it doesn't necessitate something in time. Rather, it can be something before logically, right? It could be something that actually happened logically prior, not necessarily in time prior. So, I mean, if it's simply just logically prior, then premise 3, when it says if God is outside of time, he is not prior or simultaneous to anything, that doesn't follow. Because premise 3 necessitates that obviously premise 2 requires time to exist in order for there to be a prior and simultaneous. So then premise 3 is invalid and it's false, and I would just deny premise 3 off of that. Honestly, no, it's not.
So
I mean, it's not invalid. Actually, it's not formally invalid, but it's unsound. Going from premise 2 to premise 3, it's unsound. Yeah, it's valid, but it is unsound.
So he's basically just assuming that causes require time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's just what I wanted clarity on because I'm not the best with like the logical stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you answering my question.
All right, man. Cool.
All right.
All right, now,
God bless.
well, while you don't, actually, if someone else has a question, then
Yeah, I got a question, bro. Yo, Bryce. So the incarnation is probably my worst thing to defend. Like, what argument do you run to defend it?
I mean, it depends on what someone's attacking. I mean, if they're trying to attack the logicality of it, then I have a different type of conversation than I would have if somebody says that it's not possible to happen at all, like just in general.
Yeah, like mostly like logicality of it. Like how would you approach that?
I mean, obviously, I would start off by saying there is no logical issue with the incarnation, and then make it very clear that due to the fact that we are diophysites and that we affirm two natures in Christ, they don't Christ does not basically possess contradictory properties. Like he's not intrinsically like contradictory or anything within himself, because these are properties that he derives from these natures, which are really distinct from each other. Okay. Post the clip of you with iLARP Don't Run. It's actually on YouTube. The entire video I uploaded, cut from the start of that conversation all the way to the end of that conversation. That's how I know that this conversation did not go his way. Okay. I uploaded the video on my YouTube channel. You guys can actually go watch it.
Also, last thing, Talon, unmute me from the Catholic Hub Discord server for 589 years, 11 months, and 30 days, please, man. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, sure thing, bro.
Yo, Bryce, would you be willing to have a conversation on the papers? Just like a conversation.
I mean, like, I don't see why not. I'm just having a...
Yeah, I'm trying to better get a better understanding of the Orthodox position per se. So it's going to be like a cross examination, like a Q&A, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to see what Brycej wants to talk about first, though.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Hello, I'm a Spinozist feminologist. I'm also a feminist, and I hold to feminist semantic modal logic.
Why? So
Also,
yeah. What do we? So why are you?
Logic for this? We're conditionals.
Okay. What is a semantic feminist? What is that?
Oh, semantic feminist would be that it's objected to hold to feminist laws and natures of these laws.
Okay, so like basically just presupposing kind of like the matriarchal.
Oh no, I don't believe in I don't believe in presuppositions.
Okay,
It must
you
be
don't
indefinite.
you don't believe in presuppositions at all.
No, I'm
So-
a nihilist about presuppositions.
You're a nihilist about presuppositions. Do you presuppose that
Yes.
you're a nihilist about that?
That's a suspended knowledge there.
Suspended knowledge.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, have you read the skeptics? Like, there's external skepticism, complex skepticism. I would hold to complex skepticism in this sense.
No. Never read about that.
Okay.
Do you have any objections or anything?
Yeah, it seems more likely that the Spinozist God seems to be the case in probability theory.
By probability theory?
Yeah, it would be meaning priors, and then we would add the praestoriai, and then the likelihood would be the outcome, and it seems to be the outcome that the pantheist God would be the true God.
Okay, so is there like a syllogism or something that you have to show this?
Oh, I don't do formal debates, or like I don't do it in like the formal ways, and normally do it in informal ways.
That's what?
You don't have any formal argument for the case as to why
Like you have to.
Spinozan God is more
wouldn't-
probable.
Within like arguments, argumentations. You can even look at it. Stanford and other contemporaries say there's the informal and the formal way to argue. I don't use the formal argumentation because I don't like using deduction, induction, or abduction. I'm a skeptic about those. I would suspend knowledge on it.
You're skeptic about all three of those methods together, acknowledge?
Yeah.
Okay, bro, this dude's fucking trolling. I'm not doing that. This bro literally says he just rejects pretty much everything. He's a Semitic feminist. Okay. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing it. I can't. I'm a runner. Yeah. Just call me a runner. I can't mentally handle somebody that has a position like that. It seemed to be the case. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I can't handle conversating with somebody that holds positions like that. I'm sorry. You can say that I ran, guys. I can't do it. I'm not talking to somebody that's that hard on that. What?
What up, Bryce?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Chilling.
Everybody clip that I ran from Rice. He's a semantic feminist believes in the Spinozan God. Please. Clip me getting baked by him. I literally kicked him after he explained his position. That's how much I didn't want to deal with that. What?
Bryce, can you send me a PDF for Nelios Cabasilis?
Yeah, I can.
But so, as someone that's an Eastern, as you yourself, as an Eastern Orthodox, why would supremacy for one singular bishop cause problems within the church?
Why would supremacy for one singular bishop cause problems?
Yeah, so a bishop that can bring unity with supreme authority and can settle disputes with this authority. What is the issue with this?
There's nothing like prima facie like wrong about like there being a supreme authority.
Let me rephrase that. Why do the Orthodox reject this? My bad. I asked the wrong question. Why do the Orthodox reject this notion?
I mean, we reject this notion because we believe that it's not something that existed in the historical church. It's an epistemic rejection.
Ah, okay. So what made you come to the conclusion it was like, yeah, this just can't be true because X, Y, Z, like for an example?
I believe that it's way, way too unclear in order for Vatican I's claims to actually be the case. I believe that the historical church doesn't show anywhere near what Vatican I claims happened. I believe that there's obviously a couple isolated scenarios where you can maybe see portions, or it can be argued for that a certain pope believed that he was higher than another. Yeah. But I do believe that there's many different situations as well that happened in history where it kind of like completely contradicts what you would think would happen if the church universally held to that position, that it would have been something that was very clear when, like, for example, when like Rome was on like their side of the Meletian schism, for example, that like when Rome would have sided with, what's his name? Paulinus?
Paulinus.
Yeah, you would think that what would have happened is that if this was just a common position in the church, the papal supremacy as described in Vatican I, that the whole church would have been like, I guess Rome's right. But they didn't. Yeah. They argued with Rome and said, nah, and then Rome ended up being incorrect. And so there's a difference between, like, there's events like that can occur, and then there's also events that occur more in the Catholic favor, which I concede. So I think that due to the fact that there was so much kind of like back and forth between like what that would have actually been, I think that if it was simply just the supreme Kisa Tatarak that Vatican I claims was a thing, that it would have been very clear. And I think it's epistemically unsound to believe that it's an infallible system.
Would you also apply that same notion of reasoning to the second millennium? Because there has been cases of these same things even in the second millennium.
Are you talking about post-schism Western Church?
Yes, post-schism. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that like after especially like the Gregorian reforms, for example, that things started going pretty hard towards like the Vatican I position. But I actually personally think that one of the reasons why I don't think that Vatican I even existed really in the second millennia until close to Vatican I is due to the fact that the old Catholics exist in the first place. Due to the fact that there is a... Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think that like necessarily schismatics or a good argumentation to prove why
there's a difference though, right? There's a difference because like if we're talking about like, for example, like the old calendarists in the Orthodox Church, they're not making some form of historical claim. right? They had a valid critique against the church. We actually admit that they had a valid critique to say, hey, this patriarch is going crazy. He's siding with the communists, right?
Yeah.
Where they erred is that they completely severed themselves from the church and discommuned. Instead of actually attempting to get that guy kicked out of the church, they just disconnected completely. That's where their error came in, because there was no council to actually convene to get him deposed, like what would normally happen. But like when it comes to like the old Catholics, though, the reasoning behind why they schismed is what I'm saying, because they believe that it contradicts like Cantate Domino at Council of Florence, and that it also contradicts the Council of Constance as well. And that because they don't believe that the Pope was ever infallible. They don't believe that the Pope was ever mega ultimate supreme. That was their arguments. They're like, that was never a thing. We schismed over the filioque, not for supremacy. Like, that's what they hold for.
The old Catholics, to be fair, they were anathematized by the Council of Constance. Like, they were literally anathematized because in the first session of the Council of Constance, they were saying some pretty crazy shit. Like, they were saying, like, if a priest is in mortal sin, he cannot baptize someone. Or if it's, like, a bishop that's in mortal sin, he cannot ordain a priest. He was like, God must obey the devil. Like, those things, for an example, like these Donatist heretics.
Yeah.
So what's really interesting about that is that they still asserted the supremacy in, you know, the divine institution of the papacy, but they held a hard conciliarist view towards it. And... I just don't think that the old Catholic schisming is really necessarily a good objection, but we can just agree to disagree. But
yeah, I'm not saying that due to the fact that they schism, that's like an argument against the Vatican I or Vatican II church. I'm saying that due to the fact that there was people that schismed over that thing, that shows that in some way, shape, or form, Vatican I was controversial. Something they said in Vatican I was controversial, but there's a difference.
Every council is controversial.
Yeah. Every council is controversial, of course. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the council that's proclaimed. Somebody gets anathematized somewhere. Somebody eventually gets excommunicated or anathematized, either whether that be just because of the fact that they mentally hold to a belief that gets condemned, or whether they're formally condemned themselves at a council. But anyway, just to the fact that there is that controversy that at least exists shows that there's in some way, shape, or form an argument for it. Right?
It raises questions. It raises questions and concerns. Yeah. So my second, my second question to many would be Pope Leo the First. Right. So what's interesting about Pope Leo is his tome. There's two things that we must know. That the tome, as he compares his tome to a dogmatic letter. The second letter, or I think it's either the second or the third letter to Nestorius, which was dogmatically accepted at an ecumenical council. And he compares his letter to this tome before the Council of Chalcedon. And all the bishops accepted this letter before the Council of Chalcedon as if it was accepted by an ecumenical council.
Was it compared to anything in order for it to be considered a true document?
What do you mean?
So the Tome of Leo, what was it compared against to show that it was a true document?
What Leo said in himself, it is literally laid down by Christ.
No.
So
what was the church agreed with Pope Leo, not just because Pope Leo said it. What did they compare it to?
Oh, they aligned it with the fathers.
With the defense of the 12 anathemas.
Yeah, of course.
So what was the church's standard in order for the Tome of Leo to be true?
Cyril's Christology.
Okay. And so so they were aligning Pope Leo and then agreeing with him because he spoke truth?
Of course.
So then again, that has nothing to do with Vatican I then.
Well, we don't necessarily say that's really an objection to papal infallibility per se.
I'm just saying that due to the fact that can be argued that way, it doesn't actually show some form of.
Well, even in Vatican I, in his pronouncements of faith, Pope Pius IX says that he's bound to go with what the fathers and the theologians before him has decreed.
Yeah.
So even in Pope Pius IX's standard, when proclaiming the doctrine of papal infallibility, makes it very clear he is going by the standard of the fathers. But as Catholics, we adhere to papal infallibility. And with the Leo comparing to Cyril, well, how else are we supposed to deem the letter as, like, orthodox per se? Because even when the Pope makes an ex cathedra statement, there is some type of looking into the case to know if the Pope did make an ex cathedra statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so the reason why I brought that up is due to the fact that the 12 anathemas were considered, or the defense of the 12 anathemas were considered the criteria for the Tome of Leo, right? Mm-hmm. It shows that that document in of itself was not just considered true. The document itself was considered true and orthodox after it was compared to something that has nothing to do with Rome.
Well, that didn't happen in the first session of the Acts of the Council of Chalcedon.
Yes, I understand that, but the Tome of Leo was compared prior to the Council of Chalcedon to the defense of the 12 anathemas.
No, not prior. It was compared during.
Okay, I'm talking about the people that agreed with it prior to the Council of Chalcedon. That said, we need to convene
the people that agreed with it signed it right away before the council. It was only compared to Cyril during the convention of the Council of Chalcedon. When you read the first session of the Acts of the Council of Chalcedon, we see that they accepted it by automatic because there was already acceptance prior before the council, but there was questions raised about the orthodoxy of it because I'm pretty sure it was the Egyptians and the Palestinians and the Illyrican bishops. They doubted the Tome. Right, so there had to be some type of comparison to prove that the Tome was orthodox.
Mm-hmm. And what was like? I guess I could also ask this as well, due to the fact that a lot of people were scared, because like I'm assuming I don't know how much you know about the time between Chalcedon and Constantinople too, but do you know like the big controversy and the problem that was going on between that time?
That's very vague. You got to be specific.
Regarding Leo and Chalcedon, there was a controversy that was going on between Leo and Constantinople too.
Oh yeah, you're Constantinople too.
Yeah,
the Fifth Ecumenical Council.
Mm-hmm.
What controversy?
The fact that the whole point of hold on one second. Thank you for
are you referring to like? Are you referring to the occasion schism?
No.
Like, are you referring to...
No, I'm not even referring to any schisms. I'm referring to one of the reasons why the Fifth Ecumenical Council had to happen in the first place. The reason why the Fifth... What's up?
Because Emperor Justinian, like, convened it.
Well, I mean, yeah, he convened it, but obviously there's a reasoning behind everything, right? The big problem is that a lot of people that actually accepted Chalcedon started to teach Nestorianism. They weren't actually like preaching what was properly taught at Chalcedon because of the way that the Tome of Leo was worded.
That is not why 553 was open.
That's not the whole. I didn't say that's the entire reason, but I'm saying that one of the main reasons. But I mean, have you ever heard of like the way that you have to read? This is like a common Christology argument in the Diophysite community.
Yeah, I never heard that anyone's. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Forgive me. Like I've never heard that someone said the reason why. Like, one of the reasons why that opened up, like, 553 was because, like, there was errors about teaching Chalcedonian Christology. I never heard of this. Do you have any sources that say this?
I mean, it would be, like, things regarding the monothelites, right? Because that's the thing that officiates two wills in Christ, right? Fifth Ecumenical Council does that?
But the whole reason why...
The majority of the church was falling into monothelitism. Because they were trying to avoid the way that Chalcedon was worded. No, the Sixth Ecumenical Council is the energy. That's regarding there being two energies in Christ, not the wills. The wills is the Fifth Council.
You mean monophysite? The monothelites happened in 681.
No, the monothelites themselves, right? That
happened in 681.
Was it Origen then that was condemned in the Fifth Council, and then it was a clarification of Chalcedon?
Yeah, Origen was condemned in the Fifth.
Yeah, okay, actually I kind of like made my own point harder to argue for by making that position regarding the Sixth Council. I'm sorry. Sixth Council was monothelitism and monergism as well. But anyway, the thing I'm trying to get at though is what was the controversy that was going on that caused Constantinople II?
The 3 chapters controversy.
Okay.
With Pope Vigilius and etc.
Preaching what?
What do you mean? In preaching what? Like
what was the controversy that that Pope Vigilius was preaching that they needed to call it for?
Oh no! So the reason why that they called it was to get the 3 chapters condemned, because there was the Orientals, they were saying like, well, at Chalcedon they didn't condemn the 3 chapters, so this means that like Chalcedonians like Nestorian, and so Emperor Justinian, he didn't like this, so he had Pope Vigilius' cooperation to condemn it. So Vigilius condemns it, but then he retracts it, and then they have to open up a council to get like the case fully formulated and etc.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So again, like there being like that's the type of controversy thing I was trying to talk about between Chalcedon and Second Constantinople, because the common thing that you say in Christology is that in order to basically interpret Chalcedon, you have to interpret it from Second Constantinople, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, right, they're like at a default sense, if you don't interpret it from the people that came after that further clarified the position, it does appear sometimes as Chalcedon being Nestorian. It's obviously not Nestorian, of course. But due to the way, because Chalcedon, it was a rough council, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a rough freaking council. It did not go well for a lot of people. There was a lot of crazy shit that happened. But
unfortunately,
yeah. And so like I was originally going to go there because I was going to say that I was kind of ask it from the epistemics way of saying like, look, if Pope St. Leo, right, was like infallible or like supreme in terms of like the way that it's prescribed in Vatican I.
Yes.
Wouldn't you think that something like that would have already been able to be taken care of prior to Constantinople II if it was within that same time period?
Well, it was. The whole issue was taken care of. We see this during the Occasion Schism. The entire thing was taken care of, and you even have.
I'm just asking questions now because I don't know much about this time period.
I completely understand. I completely understand, Bryce. So the entire thing was settled. You have Pope Felix III, you have Pope St. Gelasius I, and you have Pope St. Hermistos and others. So these popes constantly told the East that, hey, stop denying Chalcedon. If you deny Chalcedon, then you're a heretic. If you deny the letters of Leo, you're a heretic.
What were people denying Chalcedon for?
They were denying Chalcedon because they thought it was Nestorian.
Okay, that's what I said the controversy was, man, at the beginning. I said that one of the reasons why the Fifth Council had to be called was because of all that. There was a ton of people that were like literally saying that Chalcedon was Nestorian.
I think that might be one of the reasons. But I'm unsure, so I can't really.
Abdul, am I tripping? You know a lot about Chalcedon.
Well, Talon's not wrong. There was just 2 sides of it. You had the Cyrillian side, who obviously thought Chalcedon was Nestorian, and then you had other Easterners who was.
I mean, to say the Cyrillian side is just disrespectful.
Yeah, bro. Let me finish my point.
Bro, we're the Cyrillian side, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You had the other side who was accepting Chalcedon, but since Chalcedon didn't
the Severans
verbatimly reject Theodore Cyrus and all the other Nestorians, they had them accepting the 3 chapters, which is why Justinian, before the Second Council, called a council with the Monophysites, trying to bring them back into the church.
Yeah, because they were really bickering about the 3 chapters, and so we had to put a spanking on their ass, and they've been silent ever since.
And there was also some, I forgot, the Henocon, I think that's what it's called.
The Henotochian?
Yeah, where the emperor accepted it, but it was basically kind of like a rejection of Chalcedon. And,
you're talking about during the Monophylite controversy, yeah?
Yeah, and the Bishop of Rome, I forgot who was the bishop, like really like vehemently was like, y'all tripping. Like if you don't accept Chalcedon and Leo, like you're a blatant heretic. Like no one really gives a damn. And it was just a problem that people were accepting Chalcedon and still accepting like Theodore of Suecia, Ibas's works as something as Chalcedon exhorted.
Theodore of Suecia, though, he was kind of cooking on his opinion on the Filioque at Ephesus. I'm not gonna lie.
Theodore of Suecia was not at Ephesus.
Or was it Theodore of Cyrus? Which one was it?
Yeah, Cyrus.
Theodore Cyrus, my guy. Cyrus,
dude. Same person, different day, bro.
But yeah, so with your questions, is this the case that you're trying to build upon? If I'm not mistaken, Brycej. So you're saying if if papal infallibility is true, and if it was accepted by all, then why is there a needing to recall back the controversy, even though it's already been supposedly settled by the Tome? Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, it's kind of what I'm getting at. I just don't know why I wasn't somehow able to word this correctly, but it's due to the fact that so much of the church basically was confused about Chalcedon, and there was a bunch of people, as you guys know, that literally thought the Tome of Leo was Nestorian, and they were freaking out about the way it was proclaimed and all these different types of things. And so if papal infallibility and papal supremacy was supposedly a position that was common knowledge to the church, then why were there so many people, basically, that proclaimed the position of, yo, the freaking, the Pope is a heretic? Right, due to the fact that people can even say that out loud and think that that's a logical argument they can make in the first place.
Well, to be fair, it just depends on how the way you're defining heretic, because in formal heretic,
a formal heretic.
So this person,
they were claiming that they need to be like condemned formally.
I ain't gonna lie, Talon. That's just you could use a better argument, which would be more sufficient.
Wait, no, I'm just saying like a formal heretic, like there's a needing for them to be like excommunicated and stuff. Is that what you're saying? Like that type of formal heretic?
Yeah,
no,
I'm saying
so. Like how the way that I would answer this, like how the way that
Abdul wanted to say something real quick. Hold on. What?
No, I'm saying like Talon. You don't really have to even go into that. It's just simply like people were just being disobedient. Because you could say the same thing of like.
Well, because in Catholic theology, the term heretic is just very, very ambiguous, because it can literally mean anything. Like the term heretic can be used of like manifest heretic, like this person needs to get going, like he needs to, or like have like a formal heretic, like get this guy after church, or like like stuff like that. So, but either way, you're right. I shouldn't have brought that up because it's just completely irrelevant. I do admit that I did get sidetracked, but the entire issue was eventually, in my opinion, settled by Pope Saint Hermistos during his popular formulation of the of his I say it's an ex cathedra pronouncement, in my opinion, but that's another talk. So I would say that I don't think that follows with what you're saying, that if it's settled, then there's no needing to like recall it back into question. I say that there's no need to call it back into question insofar as to revise the judgment. I say that there's like to further explicate upon it, like just to like clear up some clarifications, because one cannot undo what was already done. Like for an example, the fathers at the Council of Nicaea, we say that the fathers at 553 further explicated on the Trinity, but without revising their judgment on the Trinity. Does that make sense, Brycej?
Yeah.
At 553?
Huh?
You mean 381?
381. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was so confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like that for an example, like the formulations on the Trinity per se. Like we say that there was a further explanation that went into more detail, but without the revision of their judgment that was already settled on the issue. So I say that Leo's judgment was final. There was no reopening the case, but there had to be some further explanations upon it, because just granting with what you're saying, like just in case of some of it was ambiguous and just very vague, like what the hell is he saying? Like obviously there's going to be needing of like a necessity of an explanation.
I know that obviously you'd say that like they needed to have an explanation, right? But I'm talking about like the fact that a large portion of the church legitimately just like actually thought that the teaching itself was wrong, like entirely. There's a difference between just saying like, I don't get Chalcedon, but he's the Pope, so I mean, whatever, I guess. Right? There's a difference between that and then like him literally saying, well, I just heard about Chalcedon and that Pope is a heretic. Right? And then like a large portion of the church literally going, even though they were wrong, of course.
Yeah.
I think that they were wrong because, of course, that Pope Leo taught correct doctrine, and that's the reason. That's where we come from in Orthodoxy, is that the Pope is considered, like they're considered, like I guess in a sense, protected from error insofar as they proclaim the truth.
Yeah, like that's basically anyone. That's everyone.
Yeah, but that's how we view the popes as well. We view the fact, though, that due to the fact that Rome, historically speaking, was a more learned church and it was much larger, that it was much less, I guess, common for Rome to become problematic. I mean, it's very rare where you see something bad happen in Rome, like at all, and like that's something that I concede all the time. But but I believe though that that's just because it was built in a scholarly manner better than the other churches, because it was doubly apostolic. I mean, like that's like how we like that's why I refer to things like what Saint Irenaeus says, where they talk about the preeminent authority, because Paul and Peter both started it. I mean, look at this church; it's so big, it's massive. There's thousands and thousands of people that are part of this, that are learning, that are under. They had a whole hierarchy within like a century, I think. They had the whole thing settled out pretty much.
So, but one thing that I like that's a really good explanation, but I disagree with it because Leo says the contrary. Because Leo says that the tome was divinely laid down by Christ via Rome's ministry. So he's saying that this tome was via divine assistance, like it's God speaking through him. So with this tome, it's quite clear that he's saying that he spoke infallibly when writing this tome, and that the words here contains the fullness of the faith, as he says in letter, I think it's letter 37, 31.
Is the tome considered ex cathedra, or is it considered universal ordinary magisterium?
Wait, I have a question.
It's considered ex cathedra as extraordinary magisterium, so it'd be in the extraordinary magisterium.
Yeah, I said universal ordinary magisterium because, like, do you hold to the position that Vatican I would be that universal ordinary magisterium also needs to be adhered to, like in terms of it being like infallible to a degree?
But Vatican I isn't universal ordinary magisterium. Vatican I is extraordinary universal magisterium.
No. I'm saying when Vatican I makes the statement that the universal ordinary magisterium is also something that you must adhere to in an infallible manner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, is the tome considered ex cathedra, or is it considered a universal ordinary magisterium? Well, bro, they just be adding words at this point. No, it's not. They're not adding words, bro. That's the way that Vatican I proclaims it. They have tiers to the authority of their documents.
Hey,
I gotta grab it. Go ahead. I gotta grab a drink real quick. You guys keep talking.
The term ex cathedra denotes the extraordinary magisterium, like, because ex cathedra is when the Pope defines doctrines on matters of faith and morals. So anything that's ex cathedra. I don't know why I'm speaking. This guy's not even here. I'm gonna just wait till he comes back. That was embarrassing.
Do you hold that there's something to be like an ex cathedra statement has to be written or said by the Pope, or as long as he affirms it is okay?
What do you mean?
Like, okay.
What?
Let's say, hold on, let me explain. Saint John Cassian of Rome. Have you read his works?
No.
He wrote the first work against Nestorius, and he ordered, Pope St. Leo was the one to order him to do it when he was a deacon of Chalcedon, right?
Yeah.
The tome was not physically written by Leo's hands. It was his scribe that wrote it. So, like, obviously it's Leo's works. Just like
okay.
You get my point?
Of course it has to be written in that case. Of course it has to be written.
By him? Because the tome was not written by his hand.
No. It doesn't have to be written by him. No, it has to be him speaking though. That's literally the requirement. It has to be him speaking.
Yeah, I have to reread the work that I read on how the tome came about, because I know it pulls a lot from Saint John Cassian. That's really
it has to be spoken by him to be an ex cathedra statement.
Yeah. Okay. See, Desta gave probably a better answer. That has to be ascribed.
Yeah, Desta tripping. That boy, that's the tripping boy. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, because the tome was not written by Leo, nor was Leo telling the scribe what to write.
Yeah, of course.
The scribe mainly pulled from Leo's previous and Cassian's and other fathers' works.
Yeah, no, we say that, like, obviously it has to be written, but it doesn't have to be.
You cut out. Desta, do you get my point?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We say that it has to be written, but it doesn't necessarily have to be written by him. All it needs to be is just ascribed by him, if that makes sense.
So you agree with Desta? Why'd you say he was tripping?
Bro, no, dude. I thought Desta saying like it only needs to be written. Like, it doesn't matter if it only ascribes to him. That's why I was saying Des was tripping.
Aerocoda on YouTube said galactic
take that.
galactic universal ordinary magisterium, bro.
Bro, dude, Desta. Wait, can you mute Desta?
Can I mute Desta? He said he's a fan. Don't listen to him.
He literally said the correct thing. You rejected what he said.
No, bro. I thought Desta was saying like the Pope needs. I thought you were saying like the Pope. He is the one that needs to write by necessity or letter. That's what I thought he was saying. But no, Desta clarified later that it needs to be ascribed to.
Yeah. Do you think that the Pope could theoretically tweet ex cathedra?
Bro, what?
Genuine question. Could he theoretically tweet ex cathedra?
Tweet ex cathedra.
If he's on the chair, can he tweet an infallible statement to the internet?
I would.
So, can the Pope FaceTime me and FaceTime me ex cathedra?
I would say sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So there could theoretically in the future be an infallible fucking tweet on the internet.
This is not real. This is not real.
Huge.
But going back to what we were saying, with the tome per se, Leo makes it very clear that the tome, that when he spoke these words and when it was laid down, it was Christ doing it, because he says it's via the merits of Rome, and it's by Rome's ministry that God did this. So God spoke through Leo with these words. And Vatican I gives the criteria for an ex cathedra statement. To be an ex cathedra statement, it has to be divinely assisted by God. And it has to be, for the faithful universally, as the Pope speaking as universal teacher. And Leo explicitly affirms this.
Alrighty. Balsamic, you've been up here for a while. What's up, man? You have a question or something?
Hello?
Gotta go. God bless.
God bless.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have an argument against Orthodox Christianity.
Please shut up.
Can I run?
No.
Can I run my argument?
Okay, good.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait a second. Balsamic's been up here for a while. What's up here, man?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you that I'm a semantic misogynist, and
I can't fucking handle these trolls today, dude. There's no way that this dude. Yeah, there's no way that this dude sat up here for 45 minutes just to fucking do that, dude. There's no way.
Can I run my argument, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the argument is called The argument is called the avian objection.
The what objection?
Avian objection.
The bird objection?
Yeah.
Hold on. My computer's like crashing or something. I don't know what's going on. The heck is going on right now, bro? This is making me angry. Hold on.
Bryce, this is what happens when you take a hiatus from TikTok.
Okay.
I know. Hold on one second. I'm freaking restarting my Opera browsers. There we go. All right. So what is the avian objection? Go ahead, man. I'm listening.
Okay. So it goes. Premise. Wait.
What the hell is going on with this dude's microphone, man? Am I getting trolled?
I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah. So the argument goes, premise 1. Orthodox Christianity teaches that humans are unequally created in the image of God, and that is affirmed in Genesis 1:26-27, where it clearly states that humanity is created in God's image, and that's affirmed by tradition of church fathers. And premise 2, pigeons show navigational abilities.
Pigeons are not made in the image of God, so I'm automatically just going to deny it there.
Wait. No, that's the argument.
The argument that you're trying to make is that pigeons are made in the image of God, on that criteria.
No. Wait.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Let me show that I'm a prophet. Go ahead.
Okay. So premise 2: pigeons show navigational abilities that surpass human ability when unaided by technology.
Wow.
So it's an empirical fact. Like homing pigeons can return home from hundreds of kilometers away, let's say, and humans without maps or GPS easily get lost in the cities or wilderness. Therefore, pigeons outperform us in this specific but remarkable capacity. And premise 3: if pigeons surpass human
Okay, so go ahead. Okay, so you're making the argument that a pigeon has a rational soul.
No.
You're not making that argument. The entire chat is freaking calling for that, bro.
No, wait. Wait.
This guy can't even make the argument, man. Are you good?
Premise 3.
He said premise 3, and then you can't even get premise 3 out. Come on. Come on, man. You can do it. I need to hear the rest of the joke, please.
Okay. So premise 3.
The more you laugh, bro, you're losing the plot at this point. I'm about to drop you myself.
No, don't kick him. Don't kick him. Go ahead. You got it. You can do it. Come on. Premise 3 is what?
And Chris wants to come up, bro. The plot is extending.
Yeah. So premise 3.
All right, bro. This is your last chance to get premise 3 out, or I gotta move on, dude.
Let me calm down. Wait.
Come on, make it happen, dude. You can do it. Get it out, or I gotta move on.
Yeah. Wait. So, premise 3: if pigeons surpass humans
Yeah, so pigeons are created in the image of God, bro. Okay, cool. That's literally what I fucking called that you were gonna make an argument for. I literally said that, like, we just reject that pigeons are made in the image of God because of their instinctive abilities. Thank you. What the fuck, dude? I'm a runner again. Dude, I'm finding some, like, S-tier people tonight, bro. This is amazing comedy. Can you make an entirely new position now, Rice?
Oh, bro, I'm too tired right now.
You're too tired right now?
Yeah.
Dang. Do people actually hold to, like, a full-fledged semantic feminism?
I hope not. That's a goofy view.
Were you pulling off like an accent or something too while you were doing that?
Yeah, no, this is Twax, bro.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, fair enough.
Who's Twax?
Wax. Are you guys in your fucking Discord right now, just saying like, "Oh, guys, I'm gonna go up and do this now. Watch this, guys. Watch."
We were joking, bro. We were all bored. We were like, you know what would get Bryce some views, bro? If we had like these guys just come in trolling, we're gonna boost all his views up.
Yeah, it works out. Is that why all these people were saying like coming in saying like, "Dude, I like freaking cooked you, bro." Kojo was saying you got cooked. Danny was saying you got cooked, and I'm like, I guarantee you, none of them saw that conversation, dude. It was 5 people in there. Nobody saved that convo, little bro. No one saved that convo. Everybody was just saying.
Debating Bart Ehrman though.
Why did you start that rumor? Why did you start that rumor saying that I debated Bart Ehrman? I've had 3 people say that now.
I've told like an entire Discord server full of Muslims that you debated Bart Ehrman.
Yeah, I can tell. I've had 3 people join today already and literally just say, "Yo, is it true that you debated Bart Ehrman?" and I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know where you got that from. So now it's
concession. Wait, Bryce, so you're telling me you didn't debate Bart Ehrman, bro? What the frick?
No, dude, it's a rumor. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I found him in a random Discord.
Bart Ehrman.
It's good to be back.
Hello?
Hosting TikTok lives again.
Yo, Bryce, I'm in my dorm. Do you like it?
Oh, you're living somewhere else now?
Chris is finally grown up, yo.
I live in my college.
Have you always lived
It
at your
seems like the
college?
perfect place for someone to come debate Bart Ehrman, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the next David
Bryce,
Wood,
can you
dude.
drive
He's
me to
gonna.
base- Wait, Bryce, can you drive me to baseball practice tomorrow?
I don't even know where you live, bro. I'd have to look it up.
I live in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? No, fuck no, dude. You know where I'm at. You know I can't do that.
Hello?
I can't.
Dude, I know everything about you, Bryce.
Yeah, you do. You found my LinkedIn and now I'm cooked. What's up? Nobody knows me.
I have an argument.
Okay.
Yeah, so P1 is just going to be if pigeons can successfully. Wait, hold up.
Please just get the whole syllogism out so that I can at least freaking like write it down to see how cool it is.
Yeah, if pigeon can successfully navigate through entire cities without Google Maps, then there must be an infallible source of universal orientation.
Wait. Okay, wait. So due to the fact that they're able to navigate, that shows that they're pulling from an infallible source of knowledge. Therefore, basically, they have the ability to apprehend. They have the ability to apprehend transcendental categories. Therefore, they must possess a rational soul. Therefore, they must be made in the image of God.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
Yo, I just did what the philosophers couldn't do. The contemporaries don't touch me.
Dude, I caught the entailment from a mile away.
Bad pigeons aren't real.
Pigeons aren't real. They're government drones.
Wait, Swax, I think
Bryce said it himself.
Huh?
Why does it matter that I said it, Chris?
You misread. That isn't the argument.
Oh, that's not
actually. Wait, Bryce, I have a question. What are your political views without getting canceled?
I mean, like, I'm somebody who would be totally down for, like, a Tsarist theocracy. A Tsarist-style theocracy, like Tsar Nicholas II style government.
Interesting.
I believe in theocratic. I believe in theocratic monarchy. So.
Wait, what do you think the Iron Guard were based?
The Iron Guard? But they're...
yeah, like the Romanians.
Oh, I mean, like, I think that obviously they had issues, but I don't think they're, like, completely just bad. I think that, like, the Bolshevik Revolution was probably one of the worst things humanity's probably ever done.
So is fascism on or off the table?
I think that fascism, like, in a very basic sense, if we're just talking about it, of having an appointed leader that is considered... Oh, thank you for the gem gun. Appreciate that a lot. Wow. If you're talking about, like, fascism insofar as having a form of, I guess, a dictator that is actually a good, moral, upstanding character that everyone looks up to.
Sure. Well, I think fascism is more than that, though.
Whoa, another gem gun. Thank
you so much.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot more to it, but, like, if the primary function, the root, starts at a morally upright leader, then, yeah, who cares? I mean, why not?
What do you think about fascist economics?
You'd have to explain it to me. I just entered reading political stuff recently. So.
Okay, so it's like they're syndicalists. So they basically believe in mass unionization of all industries, and so basically you have like a bunch of local unions in which make decisions pertaining to themselves, right?
Yeah.
Now within national syndicalism, which is the fascist form of syndicalism, they would basically have an organization in which they partake in and make votes and deals with other industries and so on and so forth. So it would be like their economic views are actually pretty democratic, surprisingly enough. But you know,
on the surface, that doesn't sound like an issue.
Politically, it's okay. What do you think about the Sorelian views of political myths?
Sorelian views?
Yeah, the Sorelian views of political myths.
I don't know. You have to explain it to me. You're getting deep.
It's the idea that you have to have an idea or goal or end in which you aim to achieve to actually progress forth towards that end.
I don't know. That went over my head.
Oh, so like for instance, okay, MAGA, right? Make America Great Again. Trump used this aim of bettering America, so then he can develop the means, such as the policies and enforcing laws and regulations, to go towards making America great.
All right.
Again. Yeah, that's just an example.
Okay. Did y'all see Lopez win LMAO? Who's Lopez? Is that a UFC fighter or something?
Yeah, Bryce, if Orthodoxy true, why did Peter get the keys?
If Catholicism true, then why Matthew 18?
If Catholicism true, why in Matthew 18 they don't get keys?
You just refuted yourself.
They don't get keys.
Dude, they literally do. They get told the same statement, dude. Wait,
they
answering.
combine.
No, I'm answering the rage bait.
Keys though.
I'm answering the rage bait. I'm not supposed to do that. I already lost. We've been able to do that for like an hour straight one time, but I already failed.
Dude, where's Tempo, dude? I want to do that with him too.
Tempo left.
Oh, that's so over.
Bryce, yeah, good Somali shirt. Yeah, it is a Somalia shirt actually. On the back, it says Mogadishu Surf Club.
Bro, why?
Because it's funny. I was in Mogadishu for a while.
Dude, you should get an Israel shirt.
Why would I do that? I think Somalia is a lot more based.
No, dude, Israel's more based.
Wow. Why?
It has 6 points in its star, not 5.
There's more. Hexagram is objectively better than a pentagram.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that not true?
I think it's unfounded. I think a pentagram is a superior shape.
A pentagram is... You know who uses pentagrams, right?
A star.
Yeah, it's... Actually, it used to symbol the 5 wounds of Christ. That's what, like, the pentagram was originally used for.
Amen. When was the first time the Star of David was used?
Actually, it was also a Christian symbol. It was used in churches.
When?
I don't know, dude. Somewhere in the first millennium.
The Star of David was used in the first millennium?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Pretty sure the Star of David is a pretty recent innovation for the rabbinics.
Google it. I know it was Catholic before it was Jewish.
The first sightings of the Star of David. Let's look that up.
Israel.
They did find it apparently in a 7th century seal, but it was not called the Star of David.
What was it called?
It says that they became a common logo in the 4th century in synagogues and some Christian churches in the Galilee region.
This guy in the comments is saying Star of David was called the Star of Moloch, according to St. Stephen.
I've never heard about that.
Oh, this guy's a SCOTUS. He can't be trusted.
Something like that. I have a serious question. Okay. Cool. Answer the serious question, and then I'm gonna freaking change up the routine, setup of my stream a little bit. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. On a serious note.
Huh?
On a serious note. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No.
No?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, yeah. Yeah, why don't you change the title to something more aggressive, like atheism is false? That would get you a lot more viewers.
Well, because there's a lot of positions that I'd like to debate against, and I'm really, really tired of every time that I put something like atheism is false, the only people that I actually get that come up here are not people that actually want to talk about atheism on a philosophical level. They want to come up here and basically say, show me God in a jar. Like those types of people. That's the type of people that I get to conversate with when I make my title that. So normally I just put it on a defensive title. And I guess the main reason like why these have been a lot slower recently too is that I've been doing a lot more streams where I'm just invading other people's lives and also doing like things on StreamYard more and Discord. Like the TikTok scene is kind of weird. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like I'm slowly getting soft banned. Because there's a lot of people that will message me and be like, yo, you didn't go live last night. I'm like, yes, I did. Like a bunch of people that watch me regularly. And I'm trying to, I think I'm starting to get soft banned like on my live streams. Because I used to be getting like hella people and now I'm just not getting really anything. Even though that I still get people coming up here all the time. I don't get it.
Don't worry, dude. It happens to all of us. I only get like 10 viewers now on my streams.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been getting a freaking stupid amount of views on YouTube though when I do the invasions. Speaking of that, people that are on YouTube right now, I'm probably gonna end up turning my stream over to an invasion stream here shortly. Mainly because that's really fun and I kind of want to do that. So anybody here that's currently on TikTok, if you guys want to see that, it's going to be youtube.com/BryceJOfficial. And I'm going to be, because I can't stream on TikTok like this when I'm doing invasions. So you guys will have to hop over there. But
wait, so what happened to Orthodoxus?
I just renamed it to Bryce Cord. Now it's just a debate sphere instead. I was really tired of running like the whole like Orthodoxy echo chamber thing. It wasn't very entertaining at all.
Bro.
And there was a lot of fighting going on and I didn't like it.
There's this one guy that I was talking to that like says that what the hell is his name? He was like really annoying. I think he ran Orthodoxos for a while. What the fuck is this? Dude.
Cogito?
No. His name began with like a fucking... Bro, what the hell? I don't know. Anyways, he has like Latinizer as his role. That's like the one thing I remember.
Alright.
Apophatic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he owns the old server. Oh, he owned the old server.
Church more than the evangelical church, and I'm evangelical.
Sorry.
Yeah, that guy's cringe, dude. I don't like him.
Yeah, he likes Jonathan Hill. I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't even know who that is, bro. Wait, is that like the Nestorian guy?
Yeah.
Oh, based.
Do you believe that Christ is a divino human hypostasis, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Amen, bro. Jonathan Hill, bro.
Dude, I remember me, DK, and Doomer were talking about Jonathan Hill one day. It was pretty funny.
That man's got some weird rhetoric, bro. W accidental union, absolutely, bro.
So wait, is Jonathan Hill EO?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, bro. He's gonna become your next patriarch, bro.
Dude, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, dude, if he ends up becoming like a bishop of Constantinople or something, man. Doing something like that.
I might become the patriarch of Constantinople, bro.
Why is that?
Dude, I might just do it, bro.
You might just try out for it.
Chris,
just go
the
to
manifest
tryouts.
heretic?
Yeah,
Wait,
Chris, the
what's
manifest
this guy?
heretic. That's what I'm talking
What
about.
the hell is this guy talking about?
Yo,
This
so
guy's Catholic.
based. Oh my.
What is he talking about?
So based. Oh my goodness, dude. It's because you're SSPX, bro.
Yo, imagine
No,
accepting
I'm not
Vatican
in the
II. Can
SSPX.
never be me and Bryce. Can never be me and Bryce. Seriously. But Chris,
I
why are you
don't-
manifest heretic, bro?
I'm not a manifest
Why?
heretic. What is this guy
You are a
talking about?
manifest heretic. You accept gay people.
No.
All right, I'm gonna kick
fuck's
that
that guy
dude so I don't
talking
get
about?
banned. Aerocoda for $10 on YouTube super chat. Thank you. It says, I saw your lecture and still had a question about the Eschaton. When the Aeon and the Chronos merge, will there be talking and movement, walking and stuff? Oh, we have physical bodies after all. Yes, there will be that because the Aeon and the Chronos will become
Wait,
one
the
thing.
Aeon and the Chronos will fuse for what?
Yeah, that's the whole point of heaven combining with Earth on the last day. The heavens and the earth will become
Bro, I'm
one,
still-
literally one state of affairs, bro.
But I thought the eons was just like angel time, dude.
Yeah, it's motionless time, and so like the way in which the angels
Bro,
exist
I don't
will
know what
become.
that means, dude.
Yeah, so time without motion.
Dude, all time is the measure of motion, dude.
See, you're getting it.
So it's, dude, that doesn't fucking make sense. Bro.
Bro, it's what St. Maximus says, man. Like I've been teaching people about what he says, and then if people freaking get mega confused, that's not my problem.
Does he say timeless time?
Yeah, he says timeless time and he says motionless time as well.
Okay, I wanna see this right
Okay.
now.
All right, let me pull it up.
Yeah, where is this in the Ordinatio? Where is this in the Summa?
It's not in that.
Exactly.
Bro, you copied from Crumbs, bro. I'm calling you out.
Exactly. That's why I said it.
Now,
Had to
let
be
me
said.
show you where it's in an actual church father real quick. There we go. All right. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I want to see it on screen.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that's not the right scene. Uh-oh. But I just crashed my app. What just happened? Oh, okay. All right. You see that?
On the learned, that thing.
All right, it says, of these, Moses would be the first figure of time. This is Chronos in Greek. Not only because he is the teacher of Chronos and its reckoning, for when he was the first to count Chronos from the creation of the world, so he's the first person to recognize past, present, and future is what that says. But also as the leader of temporal worship, and because he did not enter bodily into the divinely promised place of rest together with those who were under his leadership. For such is the nature of time, Chronos. By its movements, it neither goes before nor marches in step with those whom it sends into the divine life of the aeon to come. For it has Jesus, who is the successor of all Chronos and every aeon, even if the principles of Chronos should abide differently in God, as is indicated by the entrance of the law, which had been given in the wilderness through Moses, together with those who had entered the land promised to them. For when time is stilled, when Chronos is stilled, Chronos is the aeon, and the aeon is Chronos, as carried along and measured by motion, so that the aeon, in order to give it a definition, is time deprived of motion, whereas time is the aeon measured by motion.
Bro, what? I still don't understand this. So over.
Aeon is motionless time. It's so simple, bro.
You know, St. Thomas is infallible.
I did not know that. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, to answer the super chat, I don't see that word there. What do you mean that word? The word time and age in English translates in Greek to chronos and aeon, bro. I know you're trolling me. Aerokota, but anyway, to answer your super chat, Aerokota, yes, due to the fact that it becomes one state of affairs, basically there will be a perfect motionlessness, which is the final rest, as said on the 7th day that we are striving for. But as well as we'll be able to basically perceive there being a time before the time that we are a part of versus the time that will become what it is, or the time that is now the new Eschaton or something like that. So, I mean, it's kind of like a combination. So basically, like, take A theory of time and then B theory of time, and then you mash them into one thing, and then they both become true at the same time. It's super dope. Jitty infallible. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? God bless. Yeah, you read the title right, so anything I say is true. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging out, man. Why are you using the Greek words instead of the American words? Because I'm racist. Anyway.
Clip that chat. Clip it.
Bald eagle screeching. Hold on.
Is racism based?
The bald eagle.
No, you gotta do the
I know what you're talking about, actually. Where is that? Do the thing. That doesn't sound very American at all. But
no, it doesn't.
It's a cool bald eagle noise, though.
Do you have bald eagles where you live?
No.
I do.
I actually don't know. I just said no.
Oh.
I'm about to say maybe they're here for a very short period of time during the year, but not very much.
Dude, I almost said your place of residence whenever I said where you're from. It almost would have been bad, dude.
Like, hey, is this your address? Like, yeah.
This guy in the chat wants a question.
I'm Orthodox and I have one question for Bryce. All right. I'm going to answer that question, and then I'm going to move on to the invasion part of the stream here. Go ahead, Lauren.
Hey, on your YouTube, you have that philosophy for members only. How often are you going to be doing that?
I unlocked it for 24 hours for everybody as of today. Because I'm celebrating 1K subs, so I unlocked the whole stream for everybody. You can actually go watch it right now.
Oh, right on. I'll get right on that. So how often are you going to be doing those kind of videos?
I'm actually going to be doing them pretty often because surprisingly it had like a lot more views than normally that I would get from something like that. And I mean, I got plenty of freaking donations for the DebateCon 6 funding as well. So, I mean, like, I definitely want to keep doing those. I think that the next time I do them, though, like, I'm going to pick, like, a very specific topic and then talk about that for, like, the 4 hours that I did for, like, the 101 thing. So I think I'm going to do, like, a poll on YouTube and then do a poll on the Discord server and see, like, what they want the next 4-hour schizo rant to be about.
Right. Because my point was is if you were going to do that video and I get the membership and then you don't do one for the next 2 months and I'm like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm about to do one here in a couple days, actually. Probably my next stream or the stream after that is going to be another lecture stream. I think I'm probably going to dedicate it to either just like going really in depth regarding like the processions and the Trinity, or going really in depth regarding like EED or something, and kind of just
I think you should do a stream about principles and causes.
Principles and causes. That would probably just be included in the
well, it'd be cool to, you know, you can always
4 hours.
do a video for us slow boys so we can understand the concepts and everything before we get into it, you know?
Yeah. I definitely, well, because that's the thing is that the way that I try to format these lectures is I start off like really slow and just kind of like define all like the super basic stuff and then explain it like the person's 10. Hey, Chris has got to go
Right
now.
on, brother.
Chris,
Thank you
somebody
very much,
triggered the
Bryce.
fire alarm in his
Appreciate you,
dorm.
man.
No, it's not even a fire alarm. It just goes off every couple hours, like randomly.
Wow.
Right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure thing, Lauren. Yeah, I'll be doing one here in a couple days.
To YouTube while I'm going down the road. I'm a truck driver.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
All right, bro. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, you should write a book on what a cause and a principle is.
No, I don't wanna.
Why not?
Not my thing.
Aren't you into philosophy?
I am, and I just use principles and causes when it's needed.
But why don't you make a book or like defining what you mean by it?
Because that would be like a very short book, I think. Like overall.
Dude, nuh-uh, because Aristotle wrote a lot. St. Thomas, Suarez, the Scotists.
Wow. Okay.
The Bonaventurians.
They all have different definitions of cause.
Well, they use it different sometimes.
That sucks. Who's right?
Well, no, actually, they're in agreement with all that.
Oh, okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because they all use like the Aristotelian stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Crumb says the Jesuits based. So
The
true.
Jesuits? All right. Always correct on philosophy are the Jesuits. All right. Was Thomas Aquinas a Jesuit?
Well, he was before the Jesuits.
Would you consider him a proto-Jesuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crumbs literally said Porto Jesuit. Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's quasi-white, so he gets the pass.
Quasi what?
White. White.
Oh, he's quasi-white?
Yeah.
Thomas Aquinas?
No, Crumbs.
Oh, I thought you were saying Thomas Aquinas was quasi-white. I was about to say, I was like, every icon of him seems to be very white.
No, he's Italian.
St. Thomas is a proto-Suarezian. That's interesting.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Would you say that he's also a proto-John of St. Thomas?
Italiano.
Shit, sorry.
That was funny.
It made me laugh because, like, it's just like something of a person has just always been a strange way of naming to me.
What would you do if one of your kids became a Thomist?
Debate them and bully them until they stop.
What if they cook you though?
Then I guess I gotta look into it. I'm open-minded.
Would you become a Thomist?
I'm open-minded, dude. I'm not like freaking sitting here closed-minded. If I got cooked by a Thomist, I would at least think about it.
What do you think?
I'm not the type of person that, like, if somebody decided to, like, if somebody cooked me on like a certain position, I'm going to at least rewatch that back and be like, maybe I should look into what this dude was saying. I'm not like, you know.
What do you think about Zins?
Like nicotine pouches?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I won't recommend it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. You get addicted to them. I have been doing them for years, but I actually just went cold turkey 2 days ago. I decided to just quit because I'm tired of it. It's been making me crazy tired. No, they can make you tired. Those 6 milligrams or 3?
6.
6, that's not bad. I was doing 9s before I quit.
Yeah, my friends do 9s.
Yeah. Velo is a way better brand though if you're looking into like just doing those types of things. Zin's got some weird shit in him, man. I don't know what it is, but it's got something in it that gives me a massive headache. But like velos don't do that.
Powder.
Maybe. Yeah, I also don't like that Zins are dry. I don't like that.
Dude, I feel like whenever I hit velos, dude, they'll like hit me harder for longer. Like I just get like a longer buzz.
Well, I mean they're like moist, so they absorb better. If that makes sense. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this stream over to a invasion stream. Anybody who's in here on TikTok wants to attend that, it's gonna be on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there whenever I do that.
All right. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
Okay, and now I have the YouTube people all to myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, if you want me to be 100% real, I'm kind of losing interest. I hate to say this, but I'm losing interest in my TikTok crowd, bro. Like, I'm losing interest, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hold on, let me close out of this thing so I can actually make my freaking thing work. There we go. I don't know why I'm losing interest, but I am. By the way, anybody who's in here right now, if you want to go ahead and send this stream out saying that I'm turning this into an invasion, you're more than welcome to. I'm actually going to change the title of this real quick. Invades, TikTok, channels. Boom. Change that up. I just closed out of my freaking stream. That's insane. Hold on. I can't believe I just did that. Wait a second. Analytics. I think I need to hit the, there we go, live control room. All right, I fixed it. YouTube is where it's at. What's the move then? I'm about to actually switch this over to invasion, actually. Since it's only 8:30, we still got plenty of time to do some funny invasions. I think that is the move. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. If anybody wants to DM, oh, actually, Slime's been sending me some of them. Let's check these out. Go ahead and take a look here. Alrighty. Let's take a look at some of these ones that...
Divine? Now that the word is the word is being called a God, right? And then when I did all of that, and then he was like, oh, if the word is divine, then therefore the word is God. He has all the properties, right? Then the word has to be a person. This is what he says. If the word is divine, then the word has to be
Your
a
next
person.
lecture should be on what hypostasis is. I've always wanted to know what the subject is. It seems borderline apophatic. What's relation to the nature? What would your...
And he was like, yeah.
What would this naked... What would be this naked subject?
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said, is it
I
a
think that would be a
person?
good thing
And
to
he
stream
said,
about,
no.
yeah. He's inviting me up.
This guy.
He really conceded then.
Yeah, like he's so little tear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello?
Bryce.
Hello?
How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hello? Yeah, what's up?
You Christian?
I am Christian.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
an Orthodox.
Oh no, says. Right, do you have a contention with the topic on board?
I mean, I guess like I would kind of just have to ask like what the totality of what it means to be a Muslim is.
So Muslim, for example, if someone that believes in God, that's someone that believes that in the angels, in the revelations of God, in the prophets of God, and believes in the predestination of God.
Okay. And so, I guess text are you guys using to determine that Jesus himself was a Muslim?
So we use basically since you're a Christian, we can use we use the New Testament, basically, let's say the Gospel of Mark, which is going to be earlier, and we can portray from the Gospel of Mark that Jesus is going to be not a God or not a divine being, that he was someone that had a God above him, and he used to worship that God, and he used to submit himself to that one God, and he used to call people towards that one God.
Okay. Let me pull up a couple things here. Maybe we can talk about that. You said Mark, right?
Yeah.
Let me pull up my Bible. Give me a second. So when you said that you accept, like, I'm just trying to like make sure that we get this clear here. When we're talking about which scriptures that we're going to use, do you believe that Mark is the only one that works, or what? Like, I'm just trying to make sure.
So I believe Mark, since it's going to be attested even by scholars to be the earliest source that we have that of Jesus, then that's why I presented Mark. But if you want to go to other passages, for example, like John and those other passages, we can delve into that. But then that is going to be a different theology within John.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so like we could go ahead and just start off with Mark, right? So like if you're saying that like I guess it would be shown pretty clearly that Jesus would be a Muslim as according to the criteria of Mark, would you say that a prophet would be able to say that they are the Lord of the Sabbath?
No, I don't believe Jesus is the one saying that he's the Lord of the Sabbath.
Okay, so you trust the things that it says Jesus says in the book of Mark,
No, I'm saying in the book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 28, right? I don't believe Jesus is the one saying that he's the Lord of the Sabbath.
Okay, so you don't think that Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath? Mark 2?
No, because when it says the Son of Man, right? The Son of Man in the Greek is going to be Beni Adam. So first, Jesus tells them that, hey, look how David, and when his disciples were hungry, they went and they broke the Sabbath, the laws of the Sabbath. They ate on the day of the Sabbath. They ate the bread of priest on that day. So they broke the law of the Sabbath. And then he tells them in verse 27 that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. And then the next verse says, the Son of Man is even the Lord of the Sabbath. The Son of Man is simply means Beni Adam, and Beni Adam is going to be another term that is going to be in reference to mankind. So he's basically saying that mankind is going to be the Lord of the Sabbath because the Sabbath is made for man, not man for the Sabbath.
Okay, do you believe that at least that in Mark 2, in a general sense, Jesus is referring to himself as a Son of Man in a specific sense?
How can he be Son of Man when? How can he be Son of Man?
Wait, Henny. So, which specific passage do you refer to? I don't deny Jesus. I believe Jesus was referred to as the Son of Man in the Gospel of Mark.
Okay.
So I don't know how. Yeah.
Okay, so do you believe that he's referring to himself as a specific Son of Man or a generic Son of Man?
No, he's going to referring to himself as just the Son of Man, just like other prophets were referred to as the Son of Man.
Okay. And so when we look at like Mark 14:62, for example, when the Pharisees are questioning him and they're saying, are you the Christ, the Messiah, right? Like, are you the Son of the Blessed One? And then it says, and Jesus said, I am, and ye shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven, right? Is that a specific Son of Man, or is that a generic Son of Man? Are all the sons of man going to be, are they all going to be coming into the clouds of heaven?
No, in that passage, Jesus is referencing to the Daniel chapter 7, verse 14, to the specific passage where there's only one Son of Man that is going to be given authority and all of that by God. And yeah, so I believe that is not the saying of Jesus, because then that would be I don't basically believe in that. And even if I were to grant that Jesus is the one speaking that, I don't think that would exclude him from being a Muslim.
Wait. So are you saying that in Mark 16 or Mark 14:62 that you don't think Jesus is actually saying That he is the Son of the Blessed One when it says that in here?
Yeah, when he's so but I don't believe that's the saying of Jesus.
Oh, okay. But you do trust those verses that will, like, where Jesus says something that acutes to your paradigm, right?
No, Bryce, I'm not negating these verses for the reason because this would prove that Jesus is not a Muslim.
Okay.
Because, like I told you, even if I were to grant these verses to you, these verses would not show any sort of divinity. The only reason I'm rejecting this because I have, if you want to call it a theological bias, that I believe that the Son of Man in Daniel is going to be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But since that is going to be a different topic for that specific reason, I reject them. But if you have an argument from this and you say that, oh no, but this portrays him to be God or divine, then we can talk about that.
I mean, I'm showing you that contextually speaking, Mark commonly refers to all of the statements, at least compared to the entire four Gospels. Mark is the one that harps the most on the I am statements and the Son of Man statements, right? And so in Mark 2, when he refers to himself specifically as the Son of Man, and he makes these very specific claims about what the Son of Man is able to do. Like, for example, where it says the Son of Man can forgive sins. I'm not even making that as an argument for him being God here, but I'm saying that due to the fact that it's obviously showing that when he refers to himself as the Son of Man, he's not referring to just a generic Son of Man that all of the prophets possess. He's saying the Son of Man can do this, the Son of Man can do this, right? And then when he says that the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath, he would then still be referring to himself, because we could see that in Mark 14:62, where he's speaking about the specific Son of Man. Unless you want to go ahead and say that this is a different Son of Man, which then breaks the entire context of Mark for no reason.
Yeah, sorry, I got a call. Yeah, so, I'm not granting you the presupposition that if a scripture has to use a phrase just to refer to, for example, the entire chapter or in the entire book uses this phrase, the Son of Man, to be in reference to one person, and then therefore every verses in that book has to be in reference to this one person. I reject that presupposition. So the reason, yes, I can grant you that yes, Jesus is called mostly in the Gospel of Mark to be the Son of Man, even though the Son of Man is not some sort of divine title, but yes, he's referred to as the Son of Man. But in that specific
I'm not even trying to make that argument yet.
Yeah, I know, but in that specific passage, I don't grant you the interpretation that this is going to be also in reference to Jesus.
You don't grant me the interpretation? Are we going to do the interpretation game? Because, like, when it comes to, like, epistemic issues, right? Like, you're not somebody who would be considered connected to the historical church. So if you were to say something like, I don't grant your interpretation, that's completely empty to make.
No, but when I say I don't
this is the Gospels.
When I say I don't grant you that interpretation, I'm basically saying that no, your interpretation of that verse is not going to be correct.
Okay, according to what? What makes that incoherent?
Because Jesus, in that very verse, verse 27, says that humans were made for the Sabbath, not the Sabbath for the Sabbath was made for humans, not humans for Sabbath. And then how he talks about that David and his companions broke the laws of the Sabbath, referring to human beings. And then human beings again, that the Sabbath is made for human beings. And then the next verse says the Son of Man, Beni Adam, which is another term to be in reference to human beings merely. Then he says that the Son of Man is also the Lord of the Sabbath, which is also going to be in reference to these human beings.
Okay, so you believe that all human beings then are lords of the Sabbath?
And the Lord of the Sabbath, according to that passage, the qualifier would simply be that they have authority over the Sabbath.
Okay, so every Jew has the ability to basically break the Sabbath then?
I don't know how is that going to be relevant.
What? Is that what you're holding to, that this verse is saying?
Yeah, this verse is saying that any human beings, just like David and his companions, which were mere human beings according to you, they broke the law of the Sabbath and they were not stoned for that. And just like that, the human beings, when the Sabbath is made for the human beings, and the human beings can break the laws of the Sabbath when they're in need of it. And this is not going to and in that sense, they're going to be the masters. The Lord simply means curious, to have authority over something. So there's going to be, they're the masters of the Sabbath because the Sabbath was made for them according to that specific passage.
Yeah, I understand that the Sabbath was made. Like I'm not trying to make an argument against the fact that the Sabbath was just made for man, as it says clearly in verse 27. I'm saying that with the way that you're interpreting this, though, are you saying that in verse 28, when it refers to Son of Man, that refers to all humans?
Yeah, that's the interpretation that I've been giving you. Do you have a response to it or not?
Yes, I do. So in verse 8, right? Or no, sorry, verse 9 of the exact same chapter, is that the same Son of Man?
You have to read it.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Which is easier, to say to the paralytic, your sins are forgiven, or to say, arise, take up your bed and walk, but that you may know that the Son of Man has power to forgive sins.
No, that is going to be the specific Son of Man, which has been given authority by God.
That's an interesting context flip, don't you think?
Obviously, it's going to be a context flip because the term Son of Man is going to be dependent on the context to who is in reference to. For example, you wouldn't go to the Old Testament and see the word Son of Man, and then therefore you're going to say, oh, this Son of Man is going to be Jesus. No, obviously, because that Son of Man is going to be in reference to a Jewish prophet, a prophet of the Old Testament. So the same way we would apply that context into Mark, and when we see the term Son of Man, we would use it contextually dependent with the correct context, and that's what the context that I derive for Mark 2.
Okay, so you then hold to the fact that half of this chapter, when it talks about the Son of Man, it talks about this specific one that is Jesus, but then there is a certain Son of Man towards the end where it's apparently no longer Jesus, right?
So whenever the term Son of Man appears in the Gospel of Mark, right, if it's contextually, if it's going to be in reference to Jesus, then yes, we would say this is in reference to Jesus. If contextually it's not going to be in reference to Jesus, then we would say no, it's not in reference to Jesus. You keep going in this circle. So do you have an argument, or is there an issue with my interpretation?
Well, I mean,
because
my argument actually has to do with the fact that in this verse with Mark 2, it would be making the statement that Jesus Christ himself is the Lord of the Sabbath, and that this is a unique thing that he possesses in a certain way. And so if he was, what do you mean, can you prove that contextually? I mean, if you want to use context clues, we can then use all of chapter 2. I would say that it is actually the most coherent position to hold to the fact that in the chapter, well, first off, I mean, literally verse 23, 25, 27, 26, 27, 28, the title for that chapter in every translation of the Bible, it says Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath, right? Like that is actually the labeled title for the context for literally every Bible.
Okay, so yeah, why do I have to grant you the presupposition of the translators and their theology?
Well, because if you decide to make up your own translation, you're more than welcome to. But at the same time, like you saying, why should I grant you the interpretation of the historical Christians is a ridiculous statement, because this is actually something that I should be asking you, considering that you actually don't have the ability to interpret the scriptures. That's something that's actually only tied to the people that are connected to its writing, which you are not. You are part of an entirely different religion altogether.
Okay, good. This is crazy. No, so the Gospel of Mark, okay, are you good? Let me speak now.
Yeah, go
ahead. Notice how we say, but every translation has a title. These translators have their theological biases, but guess what? The manuscripts, they do not include title. If you go to Codex Sinaiticus,
I never said that they did.
It doesn't include. Yeah, okay, good. Then bringing me a scholar that interprets the Bible or translates the Bible, and they say, oh, then they put a title that is going to be based upon their own presupposition. Then you would have to prove that why.
Can you name one scholar that affirms the position the way that you're holding it to?
So is this going to be an appeal to authority fallacy?
Yeah, so that's not how scholars work with historians, by the way. That's not how historians work. So historians are considered credible sources when it comes to actually arguing for something being the case. You know that, right? An appeal to authority is appealing to somebody who's irrelevant to a topic. So that you just blundered like crazy saying that.
Okay, no, okay, good. So
thank you for admitting that.
Let me speak. Good. So now I asked him so I gave him interpretation. He knows these interpretations are sound. He has no argument. his answer or his question is, "Oh, give me a scholar that agrees with you. Why do I have to appeal to an authority? Can you tell me why, please?"
Because, I mean, if you want to just admit that you're personally interpreting the scripture, you can, and then we can just move on from there.
I mean, Bryce, you do the same
Scripture, you can, and then we can just. He just booted me.
I mean, Bryce, you do the same thing, right?
Just drop him. Yeah, just get down.
Well, he left. Anyway, I was gonna say
I drop him.
Is it? Yeah. By the way, he does the same thing, right? Because when it comes to Hosea 11, you know what? I want him to come back. When it comes to Hosea,
all right, I'm not gonna have them just basically just try to steamroll me now. He booted me, bro. Anthony for $10. Sorry that I didn't read this earlier, man. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, bro. God bless. Amen. Thank you so much for the $10, my friend. I appreciate that massively. That's funny that he kicked me already. I thought we were having a good convo. That's wild. You know, you see how easy it is to get to like press these people? I mean, it's ridiculous. These people are like just miserable to talk to. Bro said, I don't need any scholars at all. Okay. That's cool. Whatever.
Like almost every religion knows who Jesus Christ is. Some religions, Jesus Christ is just he's just a figure, or he was just a prophet of some sort, you know, or he was like a demigod, something. But everyone reviews him as something, and it's crazy because. And there's also different Bibles to describe him. Obviously, the Quran, the Buddhists in their Bible. But of course, I truly believe that, you know, the Bible that I read, which is the King James Version, is the true Bible. Although there's different versions, but the Holy Bible.
This guy's oneness.
I believe it is the most accurate Word of God, and it is the Word of God. And I take very much joy in just studying it, because I feel like no matter how much you study the Bible, no matter how much you read it, there's always something new, you know. There's always something new that you can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think about it, when someone is like preaching, have a pastor or someone, it's just like how many times, and if you think of a pastor ministers throughout his whole life, you know, until he retires, and then a new pastor. There's different sermons. There's different things that pastor talks about. It's just unlimited. And not only that, especially if you involve prayer into it, it just opens your eyes to more things that we don't understand. And we will never, never truly understand the infinite knowledge of God. We will never do it. Won't happen. But, and I think, you know, when people say that Jesus isn't real or all this stuff, I think even, let's just say that he wasn't real. I know it sounds bad, but I think it's good, because there's a lot of people out there who are struggling, who are going through stuff, and they need that hope and that peace and something they can depend on. Because I think as humans, I think that we naturally seek something to worship. If you go through history, there's always some sort of.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I would do that one, but that dude is not having conversations about
quoting somebody else.
That topic.
So, but it's not saying. But it says you're not accounted as a Christian if you don't honor the saints or relics, but a follower of eunomias. Like, meaning that you're not fully holding your faith in Christ if you do that. God bless you, Bryce.
So quite literally, it says, what is it? The Ecclesiastes, what is it? Dogma.
Shit, I ain't gonna care.
One of my friends,
I've had conversations with that guy before. He makes life impossible.
Knowledge as a person who's limited in knowledge.
I do not. How do you?
So then you just conceded to me. You've just conceded to me that the scientific method and even the people that are participating don't have access to universal. Stop speaking over me, bro. Don't have access to universal knowledge. That's it. Mm-hmm. You just told me that you don't. Is there other people that have access to universal knowledge, Luke?
No, there's no.
Okay, congratulations, Luke. You've just conceded that these people, right, can't actually come and be able to say universal claims. Thank you, Luke. Luke, I appreciate you. Thank you.
They have not. Thank you. Okay. All right, next person. Ricky.
I used to be a pretty devout Christian. I was even a preacher for several years of my life.
This will be a good live. Pope is able to pull together some funny people.
Now I'm a non-believer, and those two things are mutually exclusive. So what it tells me is that at the very least, I am wrong in at least 50% of my beliefs, 50% of the time. So that just shows that I'm
Really quick, Ricky. What's up, Brycej?
I'm sorry?
Hold on, I just need to talk to my dad really quick. What's up, Bryce?
No, what's good?
Hey, Bryce, did you like my rhetorical performance? Was that solid?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Okay.
By the way, did you know that I was live right now?
Wait, are you live right now?
Yeah, I'm doing actually an invasion night, so this is actually really funny that you invited me to this.
You were watching me?
Yeah, I'm watching you right now.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. This is great. Sorry, guys. Again, Ricky, I apologize. Ricky, we'll get back to you. I'm going to go through really quick, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. All right. What's up, Circuit?
Hey, so the reason I'm not a Christian is kind of similar to Ricky. Obviously not completely similar, but I grew up in religion. I was in a very devout Christian household. A lot of my family members were either Christian.
How does this guy manage to get all of these people? If I do a prompt that's why are you not Christian, I don't get anybody like this, bro.
Considering my rate of reading throughout my
I don't get anybody that actually will just like give a whole thing about it.
The more I researched, the more I read.
Like ever.
It just didn't. It wasn't something I believed in anymore, and overall, I just started getting more into science and biology, and that's kind of what led me away. But that's the reason why is I just kind of got more into science, and it kind of just made more sense to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, we're gonna get to everyone really quick. I just want to make sure everyone here is it's not a Christian. Dragon, are you a Christian?
No, but I have a very serious question I ask all Christians just to bring up. Do you ever think that since it started from Adam and Eve, that the Bible is just a whole bunch of incest? If you're a Christian, you like believe in fucking in your sister.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, brother.
What's up? Yeah. What's up, Juju?
Alabama.
What's up, Juju?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
You am? All right. God bless you, man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question.
Are you Brazilian?
Yes, I am, brother.
Bro, I still don't understand how you manage to just tell, bro. Like, how do you do that?
No way. No. How'd you figure that out? You gotta.
That's what I'm saying. He does it every time, bro. Every time that he's on my panel, he's always like, "You're Brazilian," and I'm like, and then the guy's like, "Yeah, I am," and I'm like, "How do you just know that?"
bro, that's sus.
You get a feeling.
You can smell me through the phone.
I can, bro. I can smell that.
Sus.
Bro admitted that Brazilianism is based off of smell. By the way,
bro secretly has everyone's DNA. All right, then I'll say that.
Okay. Anyways,
all right. I just got a quick question for you. What kind of denomination are you, brother?
I'm a Eastern Orthodox catechumen.
Okay, I wanted to ask you because I've been having some problems around with my denomination. So I've been raised
evangelical.
No, I was raised Catholic.
Oh, okay. Me as well, man.
Yeah, but then it's not really working out because I've been getting like a lot of hate because most people think that Catholics, they worship like the Mary and everything.
Yeah, you guys do. You give her a lot. You give her a lot.
Yeah, I agreed that I don't think we need statues for her. She's glorified a lot, and I think
give her hyperdulia, right. Bro. Are you lying?
I'm sorry. No, that was a joke. I thought maybe you. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're completely right. So then I was wondering because I saw Orthodox Christian have a lot of Russian friends, a lot from Eastern Europe, and then they're telling me about their religion, and then their position, and then I asked them, what's so special about Orthodox Christianity? What's so different? They gave me a lot of mixed answers, but I kind of want to hear your point because I'm thinking about
This is a good
changing
panel. I like this
positions, if
because
you know
people
what I
just
mean.
flood into his
Yeah,
lives, bro.
sure.
It's insane.
Well, I'm gonna pass this off to Bryce J so he can get some talking time for his people in his stream. You got it, Bryce.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, oh, you're good, man. I don't want to like freaking just take over like that, but I mean, I'll
Can
answer.
you? Okay, bro. I don't want to talk. I want to be lazy. So.
Oh,
Please.
you just okay? You could just say that then. That if you like.
Okay.
You know? But no, like, so I guess what you're saying is that you're currently Roman Catholic and you're asking like why Orthodoxy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So me personally, right, the way that I usually would argue for Orthodoxy over Roman Catholicism is by looking into the first millennia. You look into the first 1,000 years of the church, you would see very clearly that a vast majority of the innovative dogmas that the Roman Catholic Church has taught is not something that actually equates to the original church. Like, for example, things like the Filioque,
Agreed.
which is a heretical understanding of the Trinity, regarding how the Holy Spirit apparently proceeds from the Father and the Son for his existence, as well as papal supremacy and papal infallibility. None of those things existed in the first millennia, and we can see that very clearly by just by reading the Fathers, right? But then all of the other things, like all of the other, as well as the Immaculate Conception as well, that's not something that's seen in the Fathers. They don't teach that dogma. We can actually see that very clearly as well by people like St. Augustine, right? Which is like one of the biggest Western theologians, even denying it, like verbatim, right? So like all of these different things regarding Mary, all of these things regarding their view of the Trinity, regarding the Filioque, regarding the papacy, all of these things coming together. If you remove all of these things, all of the other dogmas that they followed to, like iconography, veneration of saints, the view of like liturgy, right? Like all of these ancient practices are still real practices. And I'm assuming you could probably at least see that in the Fathers, that there's a liturgy, there's a proper way to partake in the Eucharist. It's the real presence. It's truly baptism. All of these different types of things, right? Baptism is for the remission of sins. It's not just a symbol. You can see this in the first church, in the very first church, and the way that they practiced. So if that's the case, but you remove all of those innovations, what do you get after that? You get
the Orthodox.
You get Orthodox Church, and that's it. That's the only thing that you can acquire from that.
Yeah, man. So that's the reasoning. So I mean, look, there's a lot of books, brother. My Brazilian brother, puta que pariu. You know what I'm saying? I will give you some recommendations. So just give me a follow, brother. And to be honest with you, I am gonna be deactivating though tonight. So I'm not gonna be on TikTok after this because this is brain rot. I don't know why I came back here for this period of time. But anyways, okay. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Boa noite, tá bom? Yeah.
Boa noite. Boa noite.
Boa noite. Obrigado. All right.
This sounds like Russian, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
No, muito. It's bro. It's not though. It's Portuguese. It's our. Basically, it's our. We got euthanized by the Portuguese.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Anyways, all right. So circuit. Okay, guys. People that don't believe in God. You have Bryce J with you. I don't want to talk. I want to be lazy, and I just want to watch. Bryce J is a scholar. He's wearing back shades as we speak right now.
Can you not say that I'm a scholar, bro? That's literally not true.
He's not a scholar. He's a self-proclaimed zealot. So
one of the biggest problems that I have wrapping my mind around with Christianity is the fact that you have God who is perfect, no flaws in him whatsoever, and yet he sees what the universe will become like. He knows what 2025 will be like and all of its, shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And he still, at the beginning of time, chose to create a universe knowing, like, every bad thing that was ever going to happen, every soul that was going to inevitably go to hell, like, every child that was ever going to starve to death. And he's like, I still want to put this set of events into motion. Like, he's the first uncaused cause. And he still decided to hit the play button at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Knowing how it would all play out. And that's a lot to wrap your mind around.
Okay, so let me try and put it like this, okay? Would you say, because this is actually an example that our fathers used sometimes in the first millennium, like in the first 1,000 years of Christianity. They use this example for this exact argument that some people brought to them in the very beginning. They said, right, if somebody decides to unalive themselves, is it the knowledge of the ability to unalive themselves, or is it their will that causes them to do so?
Ricky, that's
what would you think? What would you? Yeah, that's a question for you.
I would say it's their will.
Yeah. It's not just because they possess a knowledge of the fact that they can do that, right?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So the same thing would apply in terms of God when we think about creating the world. If his will entails that he wants to bring as much of his creation that he provides with free will to himself as humanly possible, right, or as godly possible per se, while also not making sure that he does not basically negate our ability to have free will, then he obviously is going to know that there's going to be people that are going to be created that are going to be evil, or there's going to be people that are created that may be good but then becomes evil, or maybe there's somebody who's very evil and becomes very good. He's going to know about all of these different factors, but in the end, his overall will is to return all of his creation to himself, whether or not there are people that he creates that decide to stray away from him. And so he doesn't create people just because of the fact that he doesn't create people because he possesses knowledge of the future or something like that regarding his foreknowledge. He creates people because he has a will to basically create a creation that he loves and wants to commune with, whether or not there are ones that are created that decide to reject that communion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess where I get hung up is like, okay, sure, lots of good will come of it. There will be people who are able to experience God's love and who will love God back in return, and there will be holy communion between the saints and between God, and a beautiful marriage between the Lamb and the saints. Like some really powerful good things, right? And the laying on of hands and the healing of the sick and beautiful things that I can't deny. However, if you scoop up a cup of the iniquity of even 1 second of a child being preyed upon, how much goodness do you have to put on the other side of the scale to outweigh the iniquity of even 1 second of that happening? And to me, no amount of kumbaya in heaven, no amount of good times, no amount of shouting the house down equals out to the amount of pain that some people have to suffer through. And so to me, if I was God with my very limited human knowledge.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ricky. I don't mean to be disrespectful, bro. And I know you're having a great convo. We don't care if you were God. You're not God. You never will be God. And this is going to be irrelevant, right? So I don't think that, I think you're just kind of appealing to your emotion now. You're talking about all these bad things, and it's just, God can't be real because it's just bad things.
Well, I mean, let me put it. Let me just kind of put, because I know what you're getting at, right? I know that you're getting to the point. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think y'all. I wanted to finish that point because I don't want y'all to think that I'm saying I know the mind of God or anything like that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to save time. I'm a piece of shit, right? So it's like not a thing against you, Ricky. There's people here, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, brother, but we want to answer your contentions directly, and we don't want to monologue or diatribe on things that are okay.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, just from where I'm at, so I won't even say if I was God, just from where I'm at, if I had the ability to bring people into existence and I knew that some of them would suffer, or I could just hang up by myself and, yeah, it may be boring or whatever, but at least that suffering doesn't come into existence, I would choose to not create and just be by myself so that I know that those bad things wouldn't happen.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying what you would rather do over what God did?
Yeah, but I
but how is it that just because of the fact that you think that you would have done something differently personally, that somehow is an argument against why you reject Christianity on a logical basis?
Oh, no, that was definitely not a reason that I reject Christianity. Like I said at the beginning, that was just an interesting thing that's hard for me to wrap my mind around. I actually think I'm venturing towards Christianity.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm closer to belief than not belief. I just still have some strong questions.
So I think something that I would recommend to you, okay, like genuinely, I don't know how much of the Bible that you've read, but I think that you should read the book of Job.
Oh, I love it.
Because the entire problem that you have is actually solved in the book of Job. Like, I 100% promise you that.
So read the book of Job. That's your homework for tonight. Come back to me, Ricky. Okay, I love you.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah. What?
Look at DMs, bro. Refute me. I'm an historian.
All right. Hi, Basil. How are you? Why aren't you Christian?
What, me?
Yeah.
Because Basil's stupid, bro. All right. Anyway.
Because
Okay,
because I'm Catholic.
All right. Anyways,
Nice.
let's get some. We have more people. Who was who was next?
I think Circuit.
Circuit. Okay.
Hey.
Hello, Circuit. Go ahead. Sorry. Can give us your reasonings. Be very direct, harsh.
She
don't be afraid
she
to
already
offend.
said why she's not a Christian. I think she just.
So,
you were listening? Okay, I
I'm
wasn't.
just saying, obviously the reason I rejected Christianity was purely science, but I did want to mention I agreed with Ricky on the point of getting caught up on that mentality as far as not understanding if he knew everything. And obviously it kind of gets into the whole philosophical theological argument of predestiny, where it's like, does he predestine who goes to heaven or hell? Like that's the argument its own. But for me, at least, I think what he was just doing was kind of comparing like a theoretical version of God with himself just to try to comprehend it. Because I've used myself in very similar ways in the fact that, like, I always compare it to I have a lot of genetic disorders. So I have brought it upon myself to the fact that I'm not going to have kids because I can look forward and see statistically that they're not going to have very good lives. So I'm not going to do that. So it's kind of weird that this, like, all-knowing person that could look forward and for sure say that bad stuff is going to happen to these things would bring forth millions of lives just because he was lonely.
Why? Well, I mean, first off, like, he didn't create because he was lonely. I'm not really sure where you got that from. He created because he decided to distribute the love that he does possess to something other than himself. It's actually a selfless act. Because it's not something that he's deciding to manifest within himself. He rather decides he wants to manifest it with things that are external to himself.
Well, it's the same thing as people saying that motherhood or fatherhood is a selfless act.
It is.
When in the
Objectively,
same way,
it is.
but it depends on the type of parent you are. If you sacrifice everything for your kids, if you put your kids first, do your best to make sure they have a good life, then yes, you're very selfless as a
That's
person.
That's your duty, though, as to having a child.
But if your child, like, you get into theoretical here, like God and then humanity is his children. If you are not a good parent, if you have like a group of kids, and you know that a couple of them are just gonna have terrible lives. Some of them might die early, some of them are just going to have terrible things happen to them, and you're like, I'm still going to keep having kids. That does not make you a good parent. That makes you neglectful.
So if there's people, for example, right, let's put this in the perspective of somebody who has a lot of kids, just for the sake of the argument. Let's say that there is a mother, right, who has 20 children, just to put it into perspective. And 3 of these children hate their mother, and they dislike her. And they decide that they don't want to be with her. Right? They reject her. Or maybe not even a belief system. Maybe 2 of them have some form of genetic disorder in some way, shape, or form that just causes them to die at a young age. 18 of them are healthy. 2 of them have this disorder. Under what grounds should this mother stop producing children?
Honestly, nobody can tell her to stop producing children, but everybody around her can tell that it's not a good situation, and I can say this from personal experience.
Do they have those children?
Weirdly enough that you chose that number, because one of my friends growing up had around 21 siblings, and I can tell you from experience that no one singular parental figure can handle that many kids.
Yeah, I mean, first off, we're talking about God, by the way.
Another one of my siblings had another one of my friends had 13. It's not cap.
You're not polemic enough, Bryce J. You don't have polemics.
What are you talking about, dude? I just said we're talking about God.
joking.
Brought it to the topic.
I'm joking.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's get back to the topic.
Yeah. So the reason why I brought up the woman, right, basically possessing 20 children, but then 2 of the children, not maybe the youngest, but just 2 random children within the group, just so happens to die at a young age. Okay?
Well, I agree with.
So again, why should we stop having the children? Okay. So obviously, this analogy is something that would then apply to God, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So saying that there's a power balance is irrelevant to the argument that I'm making.
But it's even worse than having kids and knowing that some of them are going to get hurt. Is that you know at the end of the day that the system that you set up is going to end up hurting some of them. But it's okay because you're going to spoil the others.
Let me ask you a moral question. Yeah, let me ask you a moral question. If there was, and this is just a general question, this doesn't necessarily apply to God directly, but I want to ask this just to see how you'd hold to it. Let's say that you had foreknowledge that a child was going to die at the age of 16. A horrible, agonizing death. A horrible death. Right? Maybe they get burned alive or something at 16 years old. Okay? And you find them at them being 10 days old and they're in a crib. Do you believe that it's morally obligated that you should unalive them so that they don't have to go through that death at 16?
Well, that completely doesn't even work theoretical because that child is already in existence. What I'm saying is that even pre-existence...
I mean, like, all human beings were conceptually in God's mind, so it does apply to the situation regarding our metaphysics.
But no, it doesn't apply because they're not alive. They're not breathing yet.
Yes, but God still has, like, basically the concept of a man that he wants to save or a woman that he wants to save.
So he had a concept of a plan?
Excuse me?
Oh my goodness.
Do you know what a concept is?
What I'm saying is that... Dude, no. I was joking.
Okay,
Dude,
I'm just making sure.
I was quoting Trump.
Okay.
What I was saying is that it doesn't count. That is not the same theoretical because if the child's already alive, of course you're not going to do that to the child that's already alive.
Mm-hmm.
But he is purposefully making
But
people that
do you know the reasoning? Do you know the reasoning behind why that I made the analogy? It's not because of the fact that I'm saying that somebody could have just, or that the baby could have just not existed. I'm making the analogy because I'm saying, do you believe that something should have a right to live even if you know the method in which it would die? That's a pretty direct question.
I believe that people have the right to live when they're already alive.
Okay, but nobody has the right. Nobody has
the right to live.
When you're born, you have the right to live, but 8 months and 29 days they don't.
When they're in the womb, that is not a baby. That is.
Oh, interesting. I have a question. I have a question for you regarding that.
Oh shit! I love what this turns into.
No.
99% of late-term abortions are necessary.
Oh, are they? Yeah. Name one study that proves that.
They are.
Okay. Do you want me to provide you with 10 counter sources that deny anything you just said? I mean, I don't care about like anecdotal evidence. Like I can provide census.
Here actually has the equipment.
The equipment? What do you mean the equipment?
Actually has the equipment.
Excuse you.
Oh, I don't care about like the equipment that you carry to hold the baby. That's not your body. You know that, right? I mean, like we can have that conversation if you want, but like the baby is not your body.
No, my body is my own. It doesn't belong to anybody. And also, if you're arguing that it somehow theoretically already belongs to the baby, the father, or God, that is just plain out predatory and creepy.
Okay, I mean, do you have an argument against what I just said besides saying that it's just predatory? I mean,
also, thank you again.
Let me drop.
No, truth teller, it doesn't matter that you're a woman and you think it's wrong. Okay, don't do that. That's very weird.
Look, I don't. That's not what I'm trying.
Okay, let me put it like this, all right? Because so you believe in abortion up to 9 months?
I don't believe that people are going back and forth having.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe if you could figure this out, but that was a question. No. Maybe you didn't hear me. That was a question.
Happen at 9 months.
Oh, okay. So that was a question, right?
Oh
So
my god, did you just tell Bryce?
okay.
Oh my god, the incels let me in.
That was a question, right? So do you believe that abortion can go up to 9
Right,
months?
so I can actually respond. Because talking over me does not mean he's right.
So you know my question, so go ahead and answer it, please.
Yes, but only in extreme circumstances.
Only in extreme circumstances. Why does it matter if it's an extreme circumstance?
Go up to 9 months. In extreme circumstances.
Yeah, why does it matter that it should be an extreme
Only
circumstance?
happen under extreme circumstances.
Yeah, but what is there anything wrong with doing it not in an extreme circumstance?
Getting an abortion at 9 months.
That's not true.
Okay, you're not understanding my critique. I'm saying, like, is there anything wrong with just ripping the baby out right before it's supposed to be born?
Okay, first of all, that's not how abortions work.
Can
Second
you?
of all,
That's not how abortions work? Are you kidding me? Do you want me to show you a video of an abortion? Now you're pissing me off. What do you mean that's not how an abortion works?
Dude, I know more about abortions than you could ever know.
I bet you do. You probably had fucking 5 of them in your life.
No, you moron.
Fuck off, dude. No way.
Calm down. Holy shit.
All right. No, hold on. You know what? Let's play a video of an abortion on frickin' stream real quick. Pope, you're about to get banned. Give me a second.
All right, that's fine. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and watch
so many different versions.
Okay, so you're saying that an abortion has nothing to do, right? Are you saying that an abortion is not ripping out parts of a child?
Let me guess. It's either the suction tube, the knife, and the tweezers, or I don't know, the pill, the vacuum.
All right, shut up. You're pissing me off too.
Literally any of the situations, any of them. Have you seen what an abortion looks like in anything? No, I actually don't want to show that shit. I will get you banned if I do that. Because it's considered gore of a human being on TikTok, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Anyway. Right. So the thing that I'm trying to get at, right? So because you want to be able to unalive babies. GG's.
Because
you're no better than the pagans. You're no better than the pagans in the BC times.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I'm not a Christian because I want to be able to unalive babies. GG.
Dude, it's not a baby. It is a fetus.
Okay, so can I ask the question I wanted to ask, right? So if you're okay with it being right in that period, are you said only in extreme circumstances. I'm asking, is there anything actually wrong with doing it at 8 months if you just said, never mind, I don't want this shit? Is that okay?
No. Not if it's your choice.
Why? It's not a human. Who cares?
Nobody does
it's
that.
not a human. Who cares?
It's not a human. Who cares? What consideration do we need to give it morally?
I'm not saying like the morality. I'm saying that's.
Is it a human? Is it a human?
Outside of extreme circumstances.
We're not saying it happened.
Okay, so then why does it matter?
Because other people's reactions. And at that point,
why do I care what other people think? Is it objectively wrong? Is it objectively wrong?
No, it is not.
It's not objectively wrong to rip a baby out because I don't really want it anymore at 8 months, right?
That's not how that ever works.
Okay, so you don't. So wait, no, hold on, Pope. I'm gonna get to this. So you don't think that is objectively wrong in of itself, right?
I don't think that's objectively wrong, no.
Okay, so I'm going to provide a hypothetical for you.
At the end of the day, it's her body.
Yes, I'm going to provide a hypothetical for you. Is it morally wrong if, for example, we were to take out this non-human, right, at 8 months and turn it into a sex doll for PDF files?
What? What are you talking about?
It's not a human, so who cares?
Yeah, but it's a fetus.
It's not a human. Who cares? It's not a human. Who cares?
Dude, I would say the same thing if you talked about an animal like that. What are you talking about?
But it's not alive. Who cares?
That is a bundle of like flesh
bundle
and
of cells, right?
That's really,
a bundle of cells.
It's a bundle of cells. But
yeah, who cares? So is an SEX toy. Who cares?
Okay,
honestly, you see my reductio?
Dude, that doesn't even have to do anything with the conversation. Are you good? What was that? Yeah, I agree with Jay.
You agree with Jay?
That is just a weirdly specific example to bring up.
Yeah, it's called. By the way, in case you didn't know, that's called a blood sport reductio, where it's a very severe reductio, showing that you won't even actually hold to your own view in extreme circumstances.
No, I hold to my view.
Okay, so then say that that's okay.
No, I hold
Why?
on to,
It's not a
I don't
human.
think
Who
that's
cares?
okay.
Why is it not okay?
Because I don't think that's okay either way.
Okay, why?
Wait, GT. Wait, why would it be?
Wait,
What
hold
if?
on.
What?
Hold on. I'll let you speak, Basil. But why did you just say wait GT and not wait Brycej as well?
I did.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did. Yeah. So like, what if that was the whole plan for the PDF file for the whole pregnancy? Like, what morally would it be wrong then?
Hey, is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah. What's wrong with it? What if it's some weird stuff between a couple and they want to do that for some type of fantasy? What's wrong with that then?
They should morally do it, right? In your worldview.
It's not a human, so who cares?
So weird and gross.
Why? It's not a human. Who cares?
Dude, it's not a human, but you.
It's just a bundle of cells.
Because it is weird.
It's just a. But what makes it weird?
Hold on, Bryce.
All right.
Because it's a clump of cells.
Are you stop? Are you kink shaming?
Yes, I am. That's not a kink. That is
Okay,
quite literally. That is disgusting.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, I just want to put this out there real quick, by the way. This person, Rudra, that says Christians trying to defend necrophilia, that implies that it was alive before, dumbass.
So, Sergey, do you think that there's something morally wrong with that happening?
Yes, because that is just flat out weird.
Okay, what makes it weird?
Okay, so wait.
I'm just still trying to get that.
Because it is a literal clump.
Is it a living being?
No.
So then why does it matter?
Have any blood flow or anything.
So then why does it matter?
Because it's.
What makes it any different? What makes it any different from an SEX toy? What makes it any different from it in existence?
Morally, it is weird to do that with a clump of
how is it
cells.
weird?
Yeah, what makes that weird?
Is it objectively weird?
Yeah, you're saying
you're spending way too much time on this. Why are you thinking about this so much?
Hold on, stop. I don't want you to get off topic, right? Do you think it's, for example, people can do weird things all the time that are not inherently immoral? Like, for example, right? Someone can cut a hole out. I'm not speaking from experience. Someone can cut out a hole in their little teddy bear, right? And do weird things with a pillow. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Why are you guys going to this?
I'm showing.
We're showing you a reductio of your position by giving you insane situations.
Listen. This is weird.
How did defending abortion?
Can you listen to what I'm saying? Look. I let you speak. Please let me finish. Please. Look, I think that's weird. I agree with you. I think that's weird. But you are basically saying it is weird, therefore it is wrong, right? I obviously know that there are things that are probably odd to you or weird, right? Or things that are abnormal to you that you wouldn't say are wrong. You would just say it's not my preference. So I'm asking you, who are they hurting? Who is someone hurting if they want to turn a fetus into a SMEX doll? Who are they hurting?
Honestly, themselves, morality, and honestly, dude, it's
holy crap.
You have to listen.
Lord
to
have
me,
mercy.
Okay? It
themselves
is
and
not
morality.
Alive, but
so who cares?
Resembling anything? Okay. Anything resembling a human infant, even if it is a clump of cells, is weird to do that to.
You want me to make this worse? You want me to make this worse? Because if you want to say it doesn't resemble a human being, I can make it a lot worse.
Please make it worse.
Well, I mean, so like if it's not alive, right? What if they only keep the parts that are needed? Does it resemble a human then?
Dude.
Yeah. What's wrong with it? Do you think I affirm this? You think I affirm the stuff I'm talking about? I'm showing you that your position leads to this.
It sounds like you're putting way too much thought into this.
I'm showing you that your position leads to this. Do you understand that?
This woman's being disingenuous now. You're being disingenuous.
No, I am not. Stop using that word like you know what it means.
Okay, do you know what
we're showing you that you don't even hold to this view at its end.
I hold to my own.
So then say that's okay because it's not a human. It does not matter.
No, dude. What I'm saying.
Okay, so then you're contradicting your own belief. Thank you.
Wait, hold on, Bryce. Wait, hold on. Is it immoral, right? To fuck a backpack?
No, it's weird, but it's not.
It's not living.
Okay, let me just say this.
It's not alive. Why should I give my backpack more consideration?
Let me say this.
Why?
I think doing that with any type. I think doing that with any type of rotting organic material is weird.
Is it wrong though? Is it morally wrong?
Joy, you just conceded that it's not.
Why is it? Wait, why is that morally wrong? It's not alive.
Stop. I'm gonna crash out. You just conceded that fucking a backpack is perfectly not. It's not immoral. It's not immoral, right? But then do it when we give the fetus example. When you say it's not alive, right? Then you say it's immoral. You just contradicted yourself.
Dude, I didn't contradict myself at all because one of those is an item made out of cloth and a zipper and various other cardboard.
What makes that okay versus
organic material.
what makes that wrong over the backpack?
Because one of them is a pile of organic material.
Thank you for restating your position. Thank you for restating your position.
Dude, I feel
I asked for an argument.
Somebody.
Yeah, we're done with her, bro. Time for that.
Bro, it's so easy to track it.
Oh,
hey, yo, can I go as an atheist? I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, sure. Ad. By the way, guys, Ad was in the comments saying that like Christianity is just stupid. So, anyways,
blood sport reductios are the best.
Yeah, it's too easy.
Are fucking disgusting, degenerate.
We're disgusting. Oh no,
perverted.
You unalive babies. I don't care, bro.
Creatures.
Well, why are we so? We're just like. I mean, we're human beings like you, dude.
We're just literally these types of arguments. By the way. In case people couldn't figure this out, because, you know, people have 50 IQ holding to these positions. If I make a reductio that's that severe, that is a reductio ad absurdum by using a blood sport method. Okay? That's basically just me saying. Like, these people just can't, these people legitimately just can't freaking track this, bro.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
We're going to go.
The fact that you said, like, God bless everyone. But the fact that she said,
God bless you, my schismatic brother. I love you.
The fact that she said it has to organic material is weird. So is it a problem if someone did it to a head of lettuce?
Exactly. Like what makes
like
it?
What the fuck? God damn. Like, yeah, no, listen. I can admit, like, look, there are things.
Because I want to say where I'm not Christian.
Okay, really quick, but so do you? Okay, I got to teach you something because obviously you were not taught this. You obviously see that there are other people here before you, correct? Correct? Hoo ha ha. Correct? There were other people here
Pope's
before you.
losing it, bro.
No, it isn't.
Okay, so you're not. Okay, you're just not listening. Okay.
What? I'm sorry about that. What is it?
No, I'm saying you saw there were other people here before you. You can speak after.
Happening to my
life.
life.
Are you going to be in Chard also? Chard wants to speak as well.
Can I talk for my? Can I say my opinion, please, or do you?
No. Okay, go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, I used to be a Christian like you guys, and you can get out of it. In the way
Thank you. How do I get out of it?
Yeah, so the way
that was funny, bro. That was great, Ad. I'm gonna give that to you. That was fucking hilarious.
Awesome.
Bro, you guys are talking about my priest has got me chained up, bro. I can't leave.
I read the Bible.
My priest has like a little bomb in my head.
Yo, can you guys shut the fuck up?
Hey, yo, kick Basil. He said the B word, dude.
Oh, I did. Yeah, boo me.
Get out of here.
Well, I read the Bible, and you know, I kind of reached this very strange point in my life where I realized that the God of the Bible.
Is Bryce the B word?
Oh, what's happening?
Stop, man.
All right, don't worry about him, Ad. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I reached this interesting point in my life where I saw that the God of the Bible, if it was real, was extremely evil, and I kind of came to that conclusion after reading the book.
Let me. Okay, that's fair.
And let me just continue from there. And what that did, it was a very interesting time of my life where I was serving an evil God. And I lived like that for a while. I was, you know, very unconvinced by the Christians living around me because if you believe that this supremely powerful, infinite being existed, half of these Christians wouldn't even pick up the book. They knew nothing about the thing that they served. And it was just mind-blowing to me. I feel like you should be looking at this book every minute of every day if you believe that this extremely powerful being is above you, holding the power of all of our lives in its fists.
Hello, I have a question.
Okay, so really call on Bryce because I have to keep doing this to people. I'm curious. Were you guys taught us like social skills and like manners and stuff growing up? You obviously heard him speak, and then you decided to say, "I have a question." Why? What is the issue with learning the virtue of patience?
I mean, all I said is I have a question.
Okay, I understand
I
that you.
apologize for interrupting. You right.
It's
You
okay.
absolutely
Thank
right.
you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your apology. Don't do it again. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, he's
No,
so
all right,
rude.
quick. So
No,
basically,
no. You get to take your time. Let's go.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, I'm sorry. Hold
basically,
on. I'm sorry. Ad. Hold on. Give me a second. What did you just say?
she just
Don't
said,
demand me. You can say that in like 2
Hold on.
minutes.
Ad. Give me 1 second. What did you just say?
I said, do not demand me. You could have said
No,
that.
you're gonna shut up on my panel, okay? And you're gonna allow him to speak.
Suck dick.
Okay, of course. You're gonna have that ghetto black girl energy.
what is happening?
I'm sorry. We have this ghetto energy here. Go ahead, Ad.
All right,
Oh
so
my
it was a
God, I'm
super fun
sorry.
time. I could go into that in more depth. It was super fun serving an evil god. But I realized I couldn't live like that because it's, kind of absurd. So I got really into learning about religions as a whole, exploring all of my options. And I really came to that conclusion that there's nothing special about the Bible as opposed to all these other religions. And there was no good reason to believe in an evil God, a just God, or any God at all. And that's kind of where I'm at now. It's that there's nothing from an evidence perspective to say, hey, we as human beings living on earth should believe in magic. And that is my position.
Okay. So when you came to the conclusion that God is evil, right? Would you at least concede that the things that you considered evil were from your preconceived notions of what it means for something to be evil in the first place?
No, I was a Christian, so I interpreted evil from the framework within the Bible itself. So if you say, do not murder, and then God sends a flood and wipes out innocent children, I use the book to judge the book. And the book was showing me that the God was evil.
Okay, and what does schmurder mean, by the way?
I would say it's killing innocents.
Okay, it's it's you gotta use TikTok words, bro, or this conversation is not gonna last long.
Yep,
So yeah. So it's an unjust unaliving, correct?
Sure.
Okay. And so at the time of you still being a Christian, you were at least granting to a degree that everything in the Bible was true, right?
Sure, yeah. I thought it all was true.
And how many people were righteous at the time of Noah?
So I don't think that changes anything.
Yes, it does, because schmurder is an unjust unaliving of an innocent person. What does it? Who was basically worthy of not being unalived in the days of Noah? What does it say in Genesis? I need that directly, please.
Yeah, I'd say children are never, justified.
How many people were justified of being protected by God in Genesis?
All of the children.
Where does it say that in Genesis?
They're innocent.
Okay, again, right? You have a false notion of what it means to die, right? You have a difficult understanding of death in the first place. In Orthodoxy, right, death is not considered in of itself just a punishment. Death is also a mercy. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, so dying, so like if a child, for example, dies, right, due to the fact that God commands a child to die, that is a mercy towards that child to no longer have to endure the life at which he currently is dealing with. You understand? There's a difference between abortion. No, because that child hasn't even been born yet. So that's not the same. Excuse me?
You realize that's worse.
No.
That sounds worse.
No, there's a difference because in our view, right, there's a difference between a child not even being given the opportunity to live, which is different. And that's also us taking care of that situation, which is unjust because we do not have foreknowledge. Okay? We do not have foreknowledge of knowing what will happen to the child in which we do that thing to. So it is unjust because we don't know about anything of that child. You understand?
So yeah, that's my conclusion as well, essentially. And it's like that's why I realized the God was evil.
If God is all-knowing and he decides to basically unalive children, then does he know what's going to happen to those children if they're innocent?
Yeah, you can. Okay, so like
that was a question.
Okay, what was the question?
The question, does God know what is going to happen to the innocent children that he unalives? Because if you're granting Christianity in a generic sense just by reading it, right, what would happen to an innocent child that dies in any sense?
Yeah, that was my conclusion. You're right. You're spot on. And so like that was my progression from that perspective of the God's all knowing. He knows what would happen to this kid if it grew up. He's deciding to kill this kid, and I worship that God.
Please say unalive, bro. You're gonna get us banned.
Unalive. My bad. I'm so sorry. But I accepted that all of those things were true. He knows. He wants to do it. He understands what will happen if he does it. He's going to do it anyway. They're going to drown. So it's like, okay, that's facts, and I will worship this thing. And I decided I'm better than that thing, and I would not do that.
Okay. And so, what your contention regarding Christianity not being true is what again?
Well, that was later on. The second part of, I went really deep into learning about all religions and how things were written down, and I just decided, none of this is any more true than Islam or Zoroastrianism or Buddhism or Hinduism or the Native American kind of, animalism or anything that you want to point your finger at. It's not any more real than Thanos or Sauron or Spider-Man.
Well, what is
written by human beings?
Okay, so first off, something being written by human beings is not the thing that's in question. What's in question is whether or not there's actually a consistency towards the thing that was written by human beings, and whether or not we can actually point that towards something that's external to just the human beings themselves. So you can see that in different religions, of course. I'm not denying that. But when we actually look into, for example, Christianity being the case, there's actually empirical evidence for that to be the case, as well as philosophical evidence for its necessity. So I'm not really sure, why you're saying
both of those heavily. There's no empirical evidence or philosophical evidence any greater than the other ones.
Whoa.
You don't believe that there's any philosophical evidence that exists that could basically make you believe that Christianity is. You don't believe that there's any argument that could be.
Not any stronger than there are magical pixies that created the universe. There's nothing stronger about.
Do you know about the understanding of this thing called the justification of knowledge?
Enlighten me, brother.
Yeah, justification of knowledge basically is it's epistemology. It's the study of knowledge itself. It's the ability to basically know what you know. How do you know what you know? Right? I posit the argument that in order for you to know anything, that you actually have to affirm the existence of God, specifically in the Orthodox sense.
That makes no sense, but continue.
Okay. So, let me go ahead and provide this thing. It's called the Augustinian proof. Do you know what that is?
I don't. Enlighten me, brother.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like your tone. Can you change it out? It makes me uncomfortable.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just late over here. Nighttime. Sorry.
I don't understand what it. Okay.
All right, let me provide this for you. This is the argument for the existence of God from Saint Augustine. All right, this is called the Augustinian proof. Premise 1 is that there are objective, eternal, and unchanging truths. Like, for example, mathematical truths or logical truths like the law of identity or 2 + 2 = 4.
Okay.
You agree?
No.
You don't agree with what I just said?
It depends on how you're defining what you mean by that. But
semantics. Great.
Well, not semantics. That's necessary to get to the crux of
I
whatever
understand.
that was.
Yeah, but we thought you were super smart. You knew what these things were.
Oh, I'm not super smart. I never claimed that.
I never said you claimed that. I'm saying that I thought that.
Okay. So, what? Yeah. So, what do you need more clarification on? Maybe I can help you out.
Well, you said that there are fundamental truths.
Yeah, there are truths that literally govern reality. Correct.
Sure, I can agree with that generally. So
that
let's
means
move
that
past
that,
it.
that
I'll
means fundamental. Okay. Premise 2 is that truth is not a physical property of a material object, and physical objects are contingent, changing, and finite. Truth is necessary, unchanging, and arguably infinite.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Yeah. Premise 2 is truth is not a physical property of material objects. Physical objects are contingent, changing, and finite. Truth is necessary, unchanging, and arguably finite. So what it's saying is that truth is not a physical property of an object. It's not like the redness of a shirt, for example, because physical objects are contingent, meaning that they can that they don't have to be true. Changing means that obviously they can change. They can no longer be what they currently are. And finite, meaning that that they are not, that, you know, they exist. They are created. There's something that's created by something.
I'd argue that this one is a lot shakier than the previous, just because truth in this sense is something that we have generally defined as humans.
Yeah, but do you believe that truth is entirely subjective?
Well, it's something that comports best to what we say is reality. So it's something that we're all in agreement.
Did you answer his question?
Yeah. So my question was that is truth just subjective? Is truth in of itself just subjective?
It's in a certain sense, yes.
What do you mean? In what sense? Go ahead, enlighten me.
In the sense that we are agreeing that what we are measuring with our tools is all pointing in that direction.
What are the tools that we possess?
So that can be anything from equipment such as microscopes or our eyes themselves, which are measuring wavelengths of light. Like these are tools, and then we are measuring what we are getting from those tools and agreeing that these are the results of those measurements.
Okay, so what are the things that we're measuring with in order to basically determine a mathematical truth to be the case?
A mathematical truth?
Yeah. So like the quadratic formula, for example, what tool do we use to basically determine that formula is consistent and stays the same in all cases?
You know, math is math. Like that's.
Thank you. Yeah, reality is reality as well, right?
Well, what I'm saying is, math is something that we are attaching labels to, for physical properties.
Are you a
Math is a physical property to you?
Well, yes, we're attaching labels to things that I would say are essentially physical properties because it's labels of physical things.
Would you say the mind and brain are synonymous, or the same?
I think we're getting a bit off topic, but sure.
What the fuck?
The mind is in the brain. The mind is a part.
The mind is in the brain or part of the brain? See, this is the thing. You're saying that we're attaching, for example, the mind as attached to something physical, right? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm just using an example, maybe.
Well, I think we kind of say that the mind arises inside the brain.
Oh, so
it's an emergent property, right?
Ah, there it is. See, we're getting somewhere now.
I'm not sure if we're getting where you think we're going.
I think he's anomalous. Do you just think that nothing is real, that we could just change any name, even though we just mean it? Like,
well, that's kind of what we've done.
I mean, you're a Mia-physite. You're anomalous too. I'm kidding.
Okay, buddy.
what I'm getting at.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Guys, I'm gonna remind you that you called your dog a diophysite. You remember what?
My dog is a diophysite. My dog affirms Chalcedon.
So diophysites are dogs.
No, that doesn't follow. That doesn't necessarily follow.
Wow. Wait, Mitchell, please stop. Thank you. I don't like that. It causes my anxiety and OCD to go up. Okay.
So I think your name was Bryce. Could you get to the finishing part of your proof, your argument that you were walking through about?
I mean, do you believe that truth is? Yeah. Do you believe that truth is not a physical property?
So for your argument, I let's just say yes, so you can continue into how this proves that a man rose from the dead and that Yahweh, the Canaanite, sub-war god, is the actual creator of all of this, and that he created truth.
First off, there was a bunch of false shit you just said, but I'll ignore that for now.
I didn't mean to make you mad, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't make me mad. I just pointed something out. I mean, what is this rhetoric? This is like Kojo level rhetoric, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, just say how we can get to that jump. That's interesting to me.
Okay.
Jump.
Yeah. So premise 4, right? So I'm going to give you I'm going to continue the formal syllogism. And then after I'm done with the formal syllogism, I'm then going to basically do a reductio through all of the religions that apply to the criteria of the conclusion and show that the Orthodox Christian paradigm is the only method that is left.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
premise 4 is that no finite mind can explain eternal truth. So since truth is eternal, immutable, and arguably infinite, no finite, temporal, or limited mind can fully account for it. Right? So something that is finite cannot arise the concept of something like the laws of logic or mathematics. They do not invent it, rather they discover it. Do you agree?
I think that's an assumption. That
Brother,
you're assuming that
I have an argument for it. I mean,
there's a bunch of leaps there. You're assuming first of all that I
didn't make a leap. That's actually just that's an entailment from the previous premise. How is that a leap?
No, it's not. Like you're just asserting these things. You're saying that an infinite mind would understand.
I don't think you understand how a formal syllogism works.
Well, no, it's a jump. I don't
because you didn't agree or disagree with the previous premise. That's why I wanted you to actually agree or disagree with it, because now you think I'm jumping.
But this is a new premise. This is a new
Wait,
thing.
there's multiple there's premises in an oh Lord.
Wait. So listen to what I'm saying for just a second. So you had the two things at the front, and now you're on this third thing, and you asserted there.
I'm gonna stop you just really quick. Can you go ahead and just steel man what he said to you in the last maybe 30 seconds? Is that okay? Just so we know that you're paying attention.
Just repeat back to me what my argument was for the next premise.
Yeah, so for the next premise, I believe what you were saying was because there are, these infinite truths, there are things that no human or limited mind can understand, thus
can cause
an infinite mind.
I haven't made any of those arguments yet.
Or caused these things.
Yeah, so you're not steelmanning properly. So
yeah,
he's gonna go
I haven't made. That's not my premise, by the way. The premise that I just gave is that truth is not something that can be grounded in a finite mind. Things that are objectively true that are somehow eternal and atemporal in a sense. Right?
Sure.
Things that are considered external to finite contingent beings. Rather, these truths are necessary, meaning that the properties that exist of this truth cannot be something that arises from something contingent. Would you agree with that? That logically follows?
I don't think so.
Okay, what is your argument? Because if I apply modal logic to this, then I can apply an argument towards why something necessary doesn't arise from something contingent.
You're saying there are things that humans can't understand, therefore God.
What?
Okay, listen, brother. I don't even mean to be rude to you. I am embarrassed for you and all of your atheist friends. This is not a good representation of your position. You're not explaining anything properly. You're not understanding basic terms. Maybe if you wanted to be more honest, you would ask what you mean.
What's going on without lies? Islam dies. Okay, I just saw you in there, man.
So what do you say? Okay,
I like your channel.
Go through it one more time and just let's just see it one more time. I don't think I'm getting you exactly.
The premise or the syllogism? Like, what are you asking for?
So this is where you say I don't know what a syllogism is.
Okay? Yes, your syllogism. Let's
the whole syllogism.
Or let's go through. You went through your two first parts of your argument. Let's go to the third.
I went through 4 premises. I went through 4 premises. I have not completed it.
Okay, let's complete the whole thing. Let's just get it over with.
Okay, what is premise 4 then? Before I complete it. Before you tell me that I'm jumping again, I need to make sure that you know where I'm currently at.
I kind of have forgotten it at this point, brother. I'm sorry. Can you it's been a while. All
right.
Go through it again.
Yeah, so premise 4 is that since truth is eternal, immutable, and arguably infinite, no finite, temporal, or limited mind can account for it. If you accept premises 1, 2, and 3, then premise 4 necessarily follows. You understand?
Okay. Yep, I understand what you're saying.
All right. So we admit that no human mind can fully account for those concepts that are considered infinite, atemporal in a sense, immutable, whatever. Right?
What do you mean by account?
Like they cannot basically provide the justification for its grounding or its existence, right? So like if I say who invented the laws of logic, we can't point to human beings, due to that.
So, okay, so you're not saying, okay, so you're saying humans cannot account for, and that means something else accounts for it.
Yes.
That's what you're essentially saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an assertion.
Okay, so again, here's where this is entailed from this. If we say that there is something that is eternal and unchanging truth, and truth is considered a characteristic of a proposition, right? Truth is a characteristic of propositions or statements. Propositions require a mind to conceive and understand them. Truth cannot exist independently of all minds. So truth is a characteristic of a proposition or a statement. Propositions require a mind because that's a statement that is made by someone with a mind. So obviously, the one who arises a statement, like for example, if I were to say that there is like if I make a subjective truth, if I say that chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla ice cream, right? That is considered just a subjective truth. That's considered something that is a truth that is proposed by a contingent being, not by something that is necessary in any sense. So it's not something that actually can be accounted for as an objective truth. But if you concede that there is objective truths that exist in the first place, then therefore there must be some form of mind that actually proposes these things in an eternal, unchanging manner. Do you understand?
No, I think there's a hitch in that where it just...
Where was I incorrect?
It seems like... Well, it just seems like there's some little like trick of the wording
you're
that
not
kind of
understanding.
asserting that there's a creature or magic that had...
Yeah, again, it had nothing to do with creature or magic. I'm just positing an infinite mind at the moment.
The words that you're using inspire me to think of creature or magic.
They inspire you?
Uh-huh.
So no.
Yeah, so we're talking about philosophy. So do you think philosophy is magic? I don't understand.
You're not talking about philosophy.
This is entirely philosophy.
No, it's not.
I'm talking about contingency and necessity. I'm talking about
mind is the same as saying fairies or magic.
What is
philosophy? Oh my gosh, bro! There's no way.
Well, hold on. Ad, what is philosophy, man? What?
So you're saying a limitless mind had to have done.
Do you not do questions?
Yeah, because if the truth is a character, let me show you again. If truth is a characteristic, hold on. If a truth is a characteristic of a proposition, right? And then something being true, like for example, the laws of logic, if they're unchanging, if they're unchanging, infinite, right? And they are necessary, then the being by which that proposition comes to... You literally just conceded that concepts or any form of propositions are mind dependent, which then necessitates a being. You understand that, right?
I did not concede that. I conceded that we had to work through your...
So propositions don't require a mind. I want you to say that.
I would not accept that the things that you're calling propositions, such as math,
he's not calling
are propositions.
He's just talking about propositions.
If I say 2 + 2 = 4, that's a proposition.
Propositions that I do not agree are propositions.
If I say 2 + 2 = 4 is a proposition, that's a proposition, right?
So
did I invent that? Did I invent that proposition?
Those are things that we use to describe physical reality. So
thank you. But does it map to reality properly and actually reflect real truth?
I don't think you need magic to...
That was maybe you're lagging. That was a question.
Well, say the question again, buddy.
If I say 2 + 2 = 4, that's a proposition. Did I invent that proposition?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. There's no way.
I mean, you did.
This dude.
Depends on how you're going about that, because yes.
Would you say that
There's
Isaac
no
Newton invented gravity?
So gravity is a physical concept, right?
The formula, bro. The formula to actually measure gravity, is it just invented or is it discovered, bro?
It is invented.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, correct. I mean, that's the only way it makes sense, because you have a
anything but belief.
Can we just get into morality, please? I just love it. Can we just talk about morals?
I don't mean to be rude, but this isn't getting anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't getting anywhere.
Because
All
you're just asserting magic.
Can I ask
Dude,
you,
come on, bro.
What do you define as magic? Something unexplainable?
I gotta use the
No, he
bathroom real
said a
quick.
limitless being. That's magic. A limitless being is magic. It's
It's an entailment from a limitless proposition. It's an entailment from a limitless proposition that comes from a limitless mind, which then entails a limitless being. It's logic. Dude, oh my gosh. All right.
You're saying Thor did it.
No. We have, so the thing is that it's not just a claim. We have a positive account. We're not just saying it is and then therefore it is, right? We actually can give, it has explanatory power.
No, but first what you're saying is these things are this category that I'm claiming could only be done by magic, and thus
You just conceded that gravity is created, bro. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you.
No, that's what I said.
No.
Gravity,
That's
the
what
formulas
you
are
said.
created. The things that we have agreed describe gravity are created, and they're not perfect. We know that the math is very close to being.
How do you know it's how do you know it's not perfect? You would have
because it doesn't react perfectly to physical reality.
Demonstrate how the formula of gravity.
What the fuck is that? I'm sorry, bro. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no. Demonstrate how the formula of gravity doesn't perfectly
It doesn't perform exactly perfect when you're talking about extremely heavy objects such as black holes or extremely small objects like at the
just
Planck.
Because there's exceptions to the rule, that doesn't mean that the rule generally is not true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not perfect, so it doesn't comport exactly with reality.
Okay, so I think you have an issue here. I think that.
All right, so I'm muted currently, but I'll go ahead and try to explain this a little bit. All right, if you can entail, right, so this is the Augustinian proof, and then what happens is that you basically kind of like switch it into a form of tag. After you get somebody to, what is playing? Hold on.
So that's an entailment. That's what Bryce was trying to give to you.
That sounds fun.
Can we move on from him? I don't mean to be rude, but
There's an entailment, right?
Great if you guys want to
Is that if they accept the fact that there's an infinite mind, right, then you can basically move into the fact that this thing must be omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, personal. It must be personal as well. And once you do that, if you admit that it's personal, you must admit that you have knowledge of said thing if you accept it. Okay? If you accept that it's personal, then you accept that you have knowledge of it. If you have knowledge of it, it must be something revelatory. If it's something that is revelatory. Yeah, what's up?
I got a question. So since the Orthodox Church holds to ancestral sin, would you guys then say that any baby that dies in the womb or before baptism, if it's not to its own fault or the parents' own fault, goes to heaven?
We believe that they don't go to like a third place or anything like that, but they do not inherit the kingdom properly. Rather, they inherit the kingdom in a manner in which that they're blind. So they don't actually have the ability to perceive the kingdom of heaven, but they are physically there.
What does that mean? How are you blind?
Yeah, they're spiritually blind. Their nous is completely base. So they don't have the ability to basically perceive God or the kingdom. And due to the fact that they're unbaptized, they don't have the ability to perceive who God is. And so when they die, if they die through like an abortion or through like dying before they're baptized or something like that, before they're accountable, then they would basically inherit the kingdom in a very broad sense, where their soul would be completed, right? Because they have returned to their creator. Yeah. And they are not judged in a negative manner, so they're in a blissful state of their soul. But they do not understand the reason by which they are in bliss.
Just that their knowledge or perception of it's very limited.
Yes, but their soul is completed by being returned to their creator in a non-condemned state.
Okay, and then I think I DM'd you about this, but you gave me like a weird answer. I don't think I got it.
All right, my bad, guys. My phone died.
Does the Eastern Orthodox Church reject the proposition that the canons of the councils are infallible?
We're not here to talk about
we believe that the canons are infallible.
The canons are infallible.
The canons are infallible, but can be bound and loose based off of the situations of history, right? So like canon law is different, where we'd say that it's infallible as in when it's declared as a canon of that time period, it is completely binding. Okay.
Okay.
And when it's completely binding, if somebody decides to basically uplift something that is part of canon law, that doesn't mean that the canon itself is not infallible. That rather just means that due to the state of this current church, they cannot exercise this canon because of the state of affairs. So then they're loosed.
Okay. I got it. Thank you, Rick. Sorry, Bowman, you wanted to go?
Yeah.
I thought you were a believer, bro. I had no idea. My fault.
No, I mean I am, but I kind of, I have my own viewpoints. I'm definitely not. I think there's different levels of Christianity. There's always like different versions. I wouldn't say I'm, I guess, quote unquote, watered down, I think would probably be the best term. I'm not. So what would you say is the first gift or ability God gave the human race?
Wait, before you answer that, Chard, did you want to say anything? I know you've been waiting here patiently. Chard, would you like to say anything or no? You can unmute your mic. I don't know if you know you're muted. Nope. Okay.
Oh, I am. Here I am, everybody. I'm here. All right.
What's up, man?
I'm good. I just want to bring this down to sort of a layman's level, right?
A layman's level. So you want to intellectually handicap yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Because if you're going to ask people why they aren't Christian, aren't you going to ask like normal people?
No, tell us your reason. I mean, dude,
why they're not
this is a free speech panel, bro.
Bro, stopped invading.
Dude,
honestly, I haven't been like hopping lobbies because I don't need to. Like, I don't know how Pope does this. The Pope just keeps bringing in people that I can talk to over and over.
Them with the theologian.
Yeah, we've intellectually. Thank you, Thomas Aquinas, for giving us every argument that we've ever had.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but
I know. Thank God.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just joking. He's smart guy. Anyway, what's up, man? Why aren't you Christian?
I guess just the hypocrisy. I've seen too many people not really give too much care to loving your neighbor. I mean, just the average shit you've seen.
Sure. So you've lost faith in the world. It's almost like Christ.
No.
To put faith.
That's a geopolitical thing.
Well,
I'm
I'm
an
talking
American,
about
just
humanity.
like you.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm an American, just like you. I've seen many people subscribe to this individualistic notion that you don't have to love your neighbor. Your neighbor is completely independent of their choices.
Okay, but what would that have to do with Christianity, right? Because I think
it's mostly described with Christianity.
Okay, but I'm asking you, what would horrible Christians have to do with the truthness of the system?
I would rather people actually follow it. I don't know what you mean.
I understand. I think even if God wasn't real, I think just even following Christianity would be better for the world.
I love that argument.
But my point
I love that argument. It's the ethics argument.
We're talking about the truthness of Christianity, right? And when you're saying your reasoning is because people do not follow it properly, and they proclaim the name of Christ, and then they are improperly following it, which happens all the time. I mean, people are unfortunately.
I'll jump around a little bit. Maybe there's more. Check. Speed dating 30 plus. Why would you send that to me? Does anybody have any lives? If not, I'm just gonna go back to the Popes.
That's because we decided it exists. That's how.
Water exists.
That's serious.
Wait, so if I decided that a 8-foot Yeti who controls the universe exists, does that mean it exists?
If enough people,
Chat, do I debate this?
If enough people say it exists, if enough people say it exists because...
So would you say that all religions are true since enough people...
Put one in the chat if you want me to
anything,
join.
to be honest, like, I could tell you a table is a table, but does it actually make it a table? No, it's just a word we gave it.
Yeah, so you're proving me that water isn't water, it's just a word.
It's just a word. Like,
yeah, so that doesn't prove that water exists. That's just showing that water is a part of semantics.
no, it does prove that it exists in turn because you know why?
Why?
Because we decided it's water. There's no other.
Deciding something is something doesn't mean that it's something.
That's the only way we can prove something exists is by saying.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can prove it exists many other ways, but that's a horrible way.
You can question anything in reality. It
Might as well
prove
get the
anything.
$100, right?
All right, you're just like you don't even. Yeah, even the commenter, like, come on, bro. Guys, like the live, like the live, like the live, like the live, like the live.
I disagree with the topic.
All right, prove it.
Water doesn't exist.
I agree.
Wait, do you think water doesn't exist?
No, I do. I think.
I just said water doesn't exist, and you said I agree.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh, so then what are you agreeing to?
Right. Water exists.
No, you hear me, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Right. How do you get baptized? Don't you get baptized in water?
What? I don't believe in God.
Don't you get baptized in the water?
What is?
He's not Christian.
What is baptized?
It don't matter.
He said, "What is
For you to become a Christian, you to become a Christian, you have to be baptized. So without water, you won't be able to be baptized because you have to be dipped in the water.
Why do I need to be put in water to become?
Why does Jeremy have so many
also,
viewers?
you realize,
huh?
Nate, he believes water exists.
Oh, it don't.
What?
Dude,
Hold on. What are you
people on the live
proving?
now, Lewis.
What's this guy talking about?
Hold on. Prove that water exists, right?
Yes.
So how do you get baptized with water, right?
With water.
Yes, he believes water exists.
Yo,
bro. It's
he's
right
getting
on the
like
sticker.
stupid amounts of viewers.
Bro.
Right, look at. You see the image of the background? Look right above Deer Park. What does that say?
So
Deer Park is so nasty to me for some reason.
Nate, please, just answer my question and read it out loud. Look above in the image of the background where it says Deer Park. Read right above that.
Water exists. Prove it.
Okay, he's saying water exists, right? So he would be affirming that if there was a baptism that he would get baptized in, then yes, he would get baptized in. Then yes, it would be water.
So why are we proving water exists?
Canelo is
because he believes it exists. There's just no evidence.
What do you get baptized? What do you get baptized in?
Bro, all right, kick this guy. Kick him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, moderator. I hope you do.
Brycej.
Ooh, are we about to get cooked?
Brycej.
Hello.
Prove water exists.
I believe water exists.
Yeah, can you prove it?
Yeah. So like in terms of I guess like the categories in philosophy of mind, would you say that there's a difference between like the ontology or the reality of something versus the referent?
No, this is just like sorcery.
Come on, bro.
Would you believe that there's a subject to like a referent?
Yo, can you just like prove that water exists, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to. We just have to do some simple philosophy of mind stuff. All right?
It's not simple. It's not simple.
Okay, yeah. So when I say water, what does that represent?
Water represents the chemical compound.
Yeah.
The chemical compound of what?
H2. I just said H2O.
Of H2O? Does H2O exist?
Yes.
So you just conceded.
Brycej, there's no way. Even bro, come on.
Are you so when you say water, are you
read the
referring to it, dude? No way. Water exists. Prove it. I don't understand.
He can say that something exists without it, like without having evidence that it exists. Like he can say something exists without having evidence it exists.
So he holds to the fact that water exists. He's just making people argue for the existence of water for some reason.
Yes.
No, he's just saying like, can you prove it exists? Like he can say that, yeah, I believe water exists.
I believe that due to the fact that in languages that there is a word that refers to the ontology of said thing that is water, then that would actually prove that something exists.
Okay, but he thinks something exists.
Yeah, it's an abstract. You told me to prove it. I'm telling you that we can actually apply something that seems to be universally abstract can apply to something that's concrete.
Can you prove that like language exists? Because you brought up languages. Can you prove it exists?
But that's irrelevant to the argument.
Well,
I mean, now you're backpedaling.
That's irrelevant to the argument.
Because language is something that can possibly determine the ontology of something.
Okay, but wouldn't you use that to actually prove the argument? You would use language to interact with the
argument. The argument is whether or not water exists, not whether or not languages exist.
Okay, but to say
we're using language right now. If you say prove that language exists, makes it to where we just can't even have conversations anymore.
Okay, but if I'm gonna say that you use language to try and prove the point, do you like disagree with that? Like, do you think that
No,
we're
I'm
gonna
not.
use
I'm not
language to
using
prove-
language in of itself. I'm not using the actual linguistics. I'm talking about the actual referent that we're using for linguistics, which is not the same thing as the linguistics itself. Do you understand?
So why did you bring up language? What was the point?
Yeah, because different languages come to the same identical referent. Therefore, the referent itself must have some form of concrete existence. You understand?
So because languages come to the same referent, therefore it exists.
Yeah, if the abstract thing in multiple languages are referring to something that they're claiming is concrete. Yeah, if the abstract thing in multiple languages are referring to something that.
Okay, I think that's enough, bro.
Yeah, Bryce, stick to religion, bro, not water.
Just because multiple languages agree that something exists, therefore it exists.
Well, hey, oh wait, doesn't that literally prove other religions?
Stuck for a while, bro.
Come on,
Rand, by the way, bro. What are you're yapping?
You
bro.
know better than this, Bryce. Come on, man.
Bryce, come on, bro.
You're the goat of religion, bro. Come on, dude.
St. Paul, bro. I swear, St. Paul is he's the biggest glazer of all time, bro. This guy glazes everyone.
What is that? Of course,
bro. St. Paul apologetics, bro. He literally makes edits of like TikTok debaters, bro. This guy's such a glazer.
Wait, isn't he that one guy who made the edit of Bryce? I saw it. He just made an edit of him.
He made an edit of like what's his name? He made an edit of Nick as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's such a weird. Didn't he make the edits of him drinking the plastic cups? He's such a weirdo. I swear I saw a video of him drinking.
Yo, St. Paul, you want to come up here and prove that water exists?
Okay.
This
is about to be.
All right, let me go ahead and explain this real quick, just to be funny. Okay. Here's the reason why I made the argument that I made. Just because, why not? We're just messing around, right? Because he didn't understand the argument that I was giving. When somebody applies, right, language to then apply to some form of abstract concept towards something, but this abstract concept is something that properly maps onto something that is concrete in reality. If they concede that the abstract concept of water is something that properly maps onto reality, meaning that it actually purports to it. It actually means something in reality in any sense. If every language is capable of referring to that same abstract concept, that refers to the concrete. They're all coming to the conclusion of the same concrete object, meaning that water exists because everybody has the concept in their language of water. This same concept leads to the same concrete object of H2O. Therefore, water then would exist. Okay? It would be a coherency position.
Why is it charred, dude? I'm having a conversation. We don't have to. There's no need. We can go back and forth. Yeah, I understand. What? Let me ask you, right? Do you believe that it's coincidental, right? That these people are not doing the crazy
Yeah, let me do that actually real quick. Let me go ahead and turn this. Just so I could kind of explain it. So Anthony, right? The way that it works is that after you complete the Augustinian proof, after you get somebody to concede that there is some form of eternal necessary mind, then you basically would apply the argument of showing how, informally, this necessary eternal mind must be, right? It must be omnipresent. It must be omnipotent. You don't even need to grant omnipresence. Omnipotence, okay? It's all powerful because it's capable of doing anything because it knows everything, because it's an eternal mind. So because it knows everything, it can do everything, right? These two things are kind of synonymous with each other. If it can know everything, it can do everything in that sense, because it describes its ontology in a sense. So if it's all powerful, it's all knowing. Then if it's something that you're capable of knowing about, then it's personal in some way, shape, or form. It's something that is a personal being. Mainly because of the fact that it's capable of grounding all principles for anything whatsoever. Because especially if you concede moral truths, right, as being something also grounded in God as well. If you concede that something like that also is grounded in God, then this thing has to be personal because it carries a morality in a sense. So if it carries a morality, it's omnipotent and it's omniscient, it's personal. Okay? Now, and also because of the fact that it's personal, you would then concede that it then revealed itself in some way, shape, or form to either you personally or to a religion, right? To like a text, through like a text or something. We could honestly use like just the argument of just like absurdity to show that a personal revelation God does not exist. Because if somebody can make up their entirely own God, then we would honestly just kind of use like an Occam's razor situation. Only one man has come up with this God that they think grounds all things. If they're not able to create some form of logical explanation for why that God is the only true God, and therefore it would not be the only true God. And this also is something that would be empirically testified. But anyway, right, personal revelation God we kind of throw out the window due to epistemic uncertainty. We wouldn't use that. So now we're basically down to the religions that affirm a monad in some way, shape, or form, and is a revelatory. So now we have revelatory theism and a monad. There's pretty much only three choices left. Now there's Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Now we can actually use the argument for the Trinity, where you could say that an absolute monad, right, does not account for relations. It does not account for things like the one and the many, the problems that actually necessitate diversity and unity. If it does not necessitate understanding diversity and unity, then it's not something that actually would be the ground for that thing. So then therefore it wouldn't just be an absolute monad that removes every single religion basically that affirms a non dyad or triad position. Okay? The reason why it wouldn't be a dyad is because a dyad in philosophy is something that necessarily opposes itself. So only one of them would actually have to be God. Oh, Wi-Fi gospel for $5. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I think it's like 560. I think it's like 560. But anyway, after, I'm trying to remember where I was now. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, so after, when you get to a dyad, right, like a dyad is something that necessitates an opposition. Okay, necessitates an opposition, then what it means to be itself is something that wouldn't be both of the denoted, right, dyadic persons. Okay, so then therefore now we're at a triad. And if we're at a triad, then a triad would be the thing that actually can account for all of these things. Okay? If it's actually capable of accounting for all these things, there's no reasoning that is needed logically to ascend past it. The Trinity is something that can account for all of it. And if the Trinity is something that can account for all of it, then when we actually look at the argumentations now, we only have three options. Now we have Protestantism, Roman Catholicism, and Eastern Orthodoxy. And within anything except for Eastern Orthodoxy, they don't hold to the essence energies distinction, meaning that they don't believe that God is actively present and truly immanent in the world without there being some form of intermediary created being. Due to that, they would basically have the impossibility of knowledge. They wouldn't be able to actually know, for example, that God is truly present without denoting some kind of created being that's in the world. So with that being said, then it's through coherentism, all right? It's through a understanding of coherentism. It's not entirely like just a logical entailment. It's a coherency argument informally. That if you believe that it's more coherent to hold to a denomination that actually makes a logical argument for how God can be actually truly present in space and time, it makes more sense to hold to that position. Okay? Couldn't you skip Trinity and go straight to EED to get revelatory theism for Yo? No. Because the Unitarians could possibly still have an argument. They could say that, they could just arbitrarily state that there's a singular hypostasis in God the Father and his essence is distinct from his energies. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm actually really good friends with the Jehovah's Witness guy named Cosmic Witness who holds to my understanding of EED. In his view. He's really philosophically coherent too. He's a really good guy. He's a Jehovah's Witness though. Really philosophically coherent. But he holds to EED the way that I hold it. He actually agrees with the way that I hold to it. He believes that God actually appears in time and space to a degree by his energies. And so that's why you could say that in a sense, in their view, you could say in a sense, God the Father appeared to mankind. via his energies. Like there's some Jehovah's Witnesses that can actually hold to that. So you do have to at least show the necessity of the Trinity first, because if you don't show the necessity of the Trinity, they could arbitrarily make up some kind of Unitarian position that holds to EED. And they could use the Bible as their revelatory theistic principle for that, which you can't do. Word, can you walk me through this after our debate? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can walk you through like the entire like 26 premise, like full argument that Father Deacon Ananias made, that like goes from the very beginning of epistemology and goes all the way down to like the Orthodox paradigm only.
So I have my point that I can
Yeah, we'll move on in like 30 seconds and we'll get there.
Yeah, we just love fucking little Jew boys.
What is wrong with you?
What is no?
No. God,
the fuck is? I think did Bryce's chat hear that?
Huh? I mean, even if they did, I'm on YouTube, so who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, if I was on TikTok, I'd be cooked right now. I'd be done for, but I think I'm fine.
All right, I'm gonna grab. I need to grab my meal, but you guys can talk. Why is it chew? What's up, dude?
All right, hey Bryce, how you doing?
I'd be like, I'd be like hanging out. What's up?
Bryce, he called you out, dude. He wanted you.
Oh, I thought you were leaving to get food.
Oh, okay. You wanted to.
No, I never went to get food.
Yeah, I know.
No,
fine.
I went
there's like 3.
I was explaining something to my chat, and the live was loud.
No, that's fine. I perfectly understand. Do you know what like a mute button is, Bryce?
Yeah, I do, but at the same time, like I could still hear you guys, so that didn't help.
Okay, that's great. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I would consider myself a Christian. I believe in God.
Thank you, Anthony,
I
for the
pray to
$10.
God, and I pray before I eat.
I've got a dip, but I appreciate the explanation. Yeah, amen, dude. Thank you for the $10.
I do have
Appreciate
one
that.
thing about the abortion that I think my viewpoint doesn't align the same as your guys's, and so I just want to throw that opinion at you guys again. I'm not the most educated person in the world, so what was one of the great gifts that God has given humanity because He loved us so much?
Are you gonna say the ability to? Are you gonna say the ability to choose?
Like free will, right?
Yeah.
He gave us a beautiful garden and put the tree of all knowledge and Eve ate the fruit and such on. So I believe that as Christians, we don't have the right to tell people what they can and cannot do, except offer our opinions and guidance, but never force someone into making their own decisions.
Did God provide specific rules for Adam and Eve in that garden, even though that he provided them with free will?
He told them that you can do whatever you like, just don't eat from that tree.
So he did give them a set of rules.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes,
okay.
Rules.
So even though that he provided free will, he still provided a set of laws per se. Don't do this. Right. Okay, so then, like, just because of the fact that we have free will doesn't mean we can just do whatever we want. That's not how that works.
No, but that's how it ended up happening anyways. Right?
Yeah, because Adam and Eve chose to go against God. Yes.
So, but God knows everything that's going to happen before it happens. He knew when He put that tree in there, the outcome of what would happen. And from when He even said that rule, He knew what would have happened till today's date as well. There's nothing He doesn't know.
Yeah.
So God did this knowing what would happen from then all the way up to the current date and continuing forward till He comes back.
Okay. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is just a like atheist rhetoric. It's fine. Go ahead.
No, I get it. But
yeah, so it's actually kind of what Michael said in the chat, right? The tree was put there because eventually speaking, after the human beings that were originally made got to a point of intellectual enlightenment where they could properly partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they just weren't ready to take it yet. He simply said, do not take of this now, right? Do not take of this, because if you do, you will surely die. And so even though that he knows, of course, that Adam and Eve was going to take it prior to that, the original purpose, the will by which God provided that tree, was not to cause them to fall. The will was that that they would do things the correct way, but God obviously possesses knowledge of something not occurring the way that he wants it to, but he still allows it to happen because of the free will. It's kind of like the conversation that I said to someone else in here earlier. I can't remember who he was, but how just because, I think it was Rick or whatever, I can't remember his name. But I said that if somebody chooses to unalive themselves, right, is it the knowledge of the ability to unalive yourself that causes you to do it, or is it the will that you have to do it?
I mean, it takes both to do it.
I mean, like, you can obviously you have to have knowledge in order to be able to will it, of course. But I'm saying that like the thing that actually causes you to perform an action is something that's grounded in will, not in the knowledge of something.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because like even if you
do it.
know how to unalive yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean
do
you're
it
going to do
automatically.
it. Yes,
Of course.
Yeah. So when it comes to God choosing to create the world, and even though that he knows of bad things that are going to occur with this world, he still wills the maximum greatness for this thing. And if he wills the maximum greatness for this thing, then he obviously, he's going to cause things to happen, even in a manner that may not be
What do you
great
mean by
in that time.
thing? What is the thing?
I mean, any person.
Okay. But anyway, no matter what, God still gave people the ability to choose. No matter, at the end of the day, it's undeniable that there is 100% without a doubt that humans have the free will to do what they want to do.
Yeah, but yeah, and
there's no denying that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think what we're trying to get at is that just because you have the free will to choose doesn't mean that you're void of any consequences.
Of course. Yeah. And the people that have their abortions, if that means that they go to hell because they never repented after the fact, that, as Christians, we can guide them and tell them to repent.
Do you believe do you believe that they're unaliving babies?
Yes. And I feel like it is evil and wrong.
Okay.
But I feel though that there's still the free will that God gave me, and they have the equal right. And I would never have an abortion or have my partner
would you hold that
or
same
significant other have one.
Would you hold that same standard if I offered you like a situation where, for example, there is a group of people that are actually going around and unaliving like their own children after they're born? Would you speak out against that or no?
Yeah, of course, that's evil.
Okay, so then we should be speaking out against abortion too, right?
Of course, and I will. I will never validate it. I will never tell someone it's okay to do it. But at the end of the day, I should.
But should we make laws? Should we make laws to stop them?
Absolutely. Yeah. The same reason why we make laws to prevent people from schmurdering, I believe that we should make laws to prevent people from schmurdering babies. It's very simple.
I agree.
Okay, then how could you hold that standard and say, well, we're not, as Christians, we're not supposed to do X in enforcing?
Yeah, because that thing's not necessarily.
Case,
because it's not necessarily just grounded in Christian value.
I see the contradicting point to my statement too.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It's just my opinion on things. Like I don't. There's always.
Well, if you hold to a principle that is like four positions contradictory, why would you stick to it?
Because there's a lot of evil sin. Because abortion, a sin. There's no sin greater than another sin.
But you just said wait, hold up. You just said that this was schmurder, in the same sense that somebody's actually schmurdering.
Of course,
these are the same sin, except one is even worse because it's
no. There's no sin greater than a sin. Sin is sin, no matter what. It is specific in the Bible that there no.
Well, no, wait,
the Lord's name in vain is the same kind of.
So all sin will get you to hell. But I think that there's going to be like a certain gravity behind certain sins.
Bryce, what is your statement on that? Of
Saint James writes in his epistles.
Gravity to sins? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that sin is sin, and it's stated that there's no sin that is greater than another sin.
Okay.
Meaning that if I say the Lord's name in vain, and I murder someone, they are of equal sin.
Cyril, do you want to say what you're going to say about James? I know what you're talking about, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that James writes that there are sins that lead to death and sins that do not. So there are different gravities behind sin. But I'll let Bryce go.
Yeah, so like as well as the fact that does Jesus admit that there is a certain sin as well that's unforgivable?
Which is
the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, right? He says that that is an unforgivable sin. He says all of their sins are forgivable by the Father. But the only thing that will not be forgiven. No. Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is not saying the Lord's name in vain, brother.
Oh, I don't.
Blasphemy.
That's what I was asking.
Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is basically knowing in your heart that God is real and that He died for you, but then rejecting Him anyway. That's unforgivable.
Yeah. Most Protestants won't know what blasphemy is.
Every other
they try to like make it something else. Like if somebody is like speaking in tongues or something, and then I tell them that they're practicing something demonic, that they think that I'm blaspheming the Holy Spirit somehow.
Yeah.
So you're saying that that is the only sin that is above every other sin?
I mean, Jesus says verbatim that is the only sin that is unforgivable. Okay. I mean, he says that sin is unforgivable, and as well as what Cyril said regarding what St. James says in his epistle, right? He says that there are sins that cause death and there are sins that do not cause death, showing that there is obviously a hierarchy of sins, right?
And was that in red letters?
Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Red letters as in like what James said?
As it came from Jesus or God?
No, it came from a divinely inspired apostle instead.
Because I believe what the words of God.
Does everything around the red letters just speculative to you?
No, but is it not in red letters that it says that there's sin is sin, and no matter, there's no difference from.
I mean, Jesus is the one in red. I mean, if we want to do red letters, right? Like Jesus is the one that says himself that blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is the only sin that's unforgivable. And but when James says that there's levels to sin in terms of ones that cause death and ones that don't cause death, I mean, would you believe that that's divinely inspired that James said that?
No, okay. And then does he specify which one is of death and which one is not of death?
I can't remember. I haven't read that passage in a while.
I recently read it. He doesn't specify. We have patristic interpretations on what goes on to it. But what I did want to say is that the verse that you're referencing, number one, it doesn't say that, and it's not even by Christ. I believe it's by the Epistle of John, in which he says that it's even by James again. He who has broken one of the law has broken the entirety of the law.
Okay. So we have to take into interpolation that abortion is a sin that causes the death and murder, or like of what? Obviously, abortion is murder, but
it also causes death of the individual who causes said thing. I mean, in our view, the way that we argue against abortion, we argue it for the same. I mean, yeah, it obviously causes a spiritual death because it's something that's like, in our view, right? Someone who causes abortion on the same level as, like, for example, in the Old Testament, people were sacrificing their children to Molech. Literally the same mechanic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So these people are spiritually dying by sacrificing their children to the devil by doing.
But is it intended to go to the devil by these people?
They don't have to think it's going to the devil. I mean, like, even though that, like, they thought that that their child was going to the god named Molech, you don't believe that was Satan?
No, of course, but I'm talking about today's generation.
It's the same thing with them, bro. Like the whole it being like quote unquote just common health care, right? That's a new idol, bro. That's a new idol of bodily autonomy to the degree where you think that you can take the matters of a child into your. That's its own worship in of itself, man.
Okay, I didn't know it was considered a worship.
I mean, think about like what worshiping is, right? What is worship?
Setting your faith into something.
It's sacrifice, right? Sacrifice of something. Sacrificing something to get to whatever that. Worship requires a sacrifice.
This Bryce guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a dummy.
Shut up, Pope. Yeah, because of the fact that worship requires a sacrifice, if I say that people are basically sacrificing themselves, right, to the degree of basically putting their faith and trust, like what you said, Bowman. Because in a sense, that's sacrificing yourself. You're basically just putting your entire trust and faith into whatever that thing is, giving yourself to whatever this thing is, even if it can't be 100% verified as a
Well,
fact.
sacrifice can be your phone. Just so people in the comments or whatever, sacrifice can mean like a phone, doesn't mean taking of a life or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you could sacrifice yourself to your phone. You can literally just give your life to your phone every single freaking day and not pick up a Bible, right? In a sense, you're idolizing and worshiping your phone. But like the same thing applies to like the type of secular science that people follow. Like for example, things like gender theory and things like abortion. All of these different types of these bodily autonomous theologies that I'll say, right? Like I mean, like you look at like the entire movement, pride in of itself, right? Like it's literally called pride, dude, brother. Like the whole movement, like it's tied in with the same stuff that we're arguing regarding. It's tied into the same thing. It's my body. I do what I want with my body. Like, that's worship, bro. That's its own. You worship yourself, man.
Yeah, and they're lost. You know, they don't know Jesus Christ, and at the end of the day, you can't blame someone for not knowing. You know, you can pray and try and teach them, but you can't blame them. You know, that's for God.
If somebody decides to injure another because they quote unquote don't know better, you don't out against those who do so.
No, and definitely you do, and you know, I don't think there should be anyone in this world at this point that doesn't know better than that. It's just evil.
That's why we speak out against. That's why we speak out against a evil act, and we state publicly that these people that do these things are committing evil acts. It's very simple.
Of course.
Yeah. And he
That's
goes
the best
far
we can
beyond
do
that.
as Christians.
Like, and we also want to make laws to prohibit it and enforce people to not do this act anymore as well.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people to be able to even fall into these problems. I mean, like in an absolute perfect world, like if Orthodox Christianity pretty much like, I guess, ruled the world per se, right? Like the world would be under a theocratic monarchy. That's the system by which Byzantium would be. What?
So then we would have to also create laws of banning gay marriages.
Yes,
and
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you have to understand that the entire idea of gay marriage itself is not even valid because marriage can't physically happen between two men.
Do you understand? Do you understand though that like there's a degree there's a degree
physically happen.
There's a degree where like obviously we can like come to some kind of agreement in a general sense where like, for example, like I support freedom of speech, right? Yeah, like I support freedom of speech. I'm an American, but if it was a perfect world, if America was ran by a theocratic monarchy as we support in Orthodoxy, like especially like kind of like the Tsarist era of like Russia is like the closest we've kind of gone to that, as well as like Byzantium in like the first millennia, that if this was the case, canon law would be considered part of the government. And so if something is declared as a heresy, right? Like, for example, like basically denying that Jesus is the Messiah, right? In any sense, that would be considered illegal to publicly preach, right? Like things like that would even go that far in an original Christian society. So Christians already are pretty damn accepting compared to what they used to be, right? Because like societies that used to be the case, right? And me personally, because I'm Orthodox, I kind of wish I would be in a society like that because I'm tired of freaking hearing the dumb shit that people come up with every day. I'm tired of hearing it. I wish I didn't have to hear it if I'm being real. But
straight up,
like no talking to certain people.
Yeah,
and people have their minds closed off, you know, and
yeah. And in an original Christian society, those people get locked up because they want to be arrogant and try to basically speak against Christ and try to bring people to hell. The people get arrested back in the day for trying to bring people to hell.
Yeah, and you look at the contemporaries of the time, like St. John Chrysostom. He writes very explicitly. He says, "Don't take away the blessing from striking someone who spews heresies."
I mean, yeah, you look at just like the way that Christians acted back in the day, dude. Like the original Christians were just like, yo, If you see this guy preaching like the Eunomian heresy or whatever, report him to the authorities. This dude needs to get locked up. Like, that's how people were.
And John Chrysostom
Is
said
it
physically assault them, like take it into your own hands.
Is it Cyril? Is that
Cyril? Yeah, my name's Cyril.
Like, so I will be the first to admit I live in my own bubble. After this Charlie Kirk thing, I've never been on a live debate. So this is past 2 days is the first time I've even joined anything. It's caused me to maybe move out of my bubble and maybe become more educated myself. So again, you're not talking to someone who can properly educate any point. You know, maybe sometimes my points are just made purely off of feelings and not factual. So, you know, I'll be the first to admit that. And so,
what your gut thinks.
Yeah, you know, it's just what my bubble's been consisted of my whole life.
It already shows a bunch of humility though that you're able to admit that. So I mean, that's awesome that you even see that in yourself in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, you know, I think there's most people, I guess can't say most people have common sense, but it's a common sense thing if you're not so involved in your own feelings and actually challenge and think other things. But Cyril, is that statement, can't repeat it. I don't exactly remember what he said, but are those from the New Testament or Old Testament?
Which one? The one where I said St. John Chrysostom said to strike someone?
Yes.
No, this is a commentary or patristic writing. So within Orthodoxy, you have something called apostolic succession, which is when Christ established the church. The church, he had apostles ordained as priests, and those apostles ordained priests and bishops after them. And in this line of succession that goes all the way down.
I'm back, baby.
Yo, really quick, hold on, pause.
I'm back, baby.
Yo, Chard,
What
listen,
up,
I know.
dude?
Chard, I don't know who you let you up, but I'm a man of forgiveness, and you interrupted Cyril while he was giving
Come
his
on,
beautiful
baby. I don't. Yeah.
Okay, well, can I ask you, Chard, can we have a normal conversation, man?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
No, okay, can you just wait a second?
Yeah. Go for it, Saint Cyril.
Okay, no. You're gonna allow him to finish what he was saying to the gentleman. Hello?
Let him finish?
No, you need to let him finish, or I'm gonna muzzle you like the dog that you are.
All right, muzzle me, dog. I'm Christian.
You're an idiot, bro. Get out of my fucking panel. Absolute fucking turd. Go ahead, Cyril.
So we have this line of so for the apostles, they ordained bishops and priests as successors, and this chain continues until the present era. And one of those bishops in that chain is John Chrysostom, and he writes a commentary in which he says, "When a heretic spews out heresies in the street, do not take away the grace of striking him."
Alrighty, y'all. I am probably going.
You know, Satan did that to Jesus in the wilderness. He was quoting scripture.
Okay, look, as amazing that would be to argue, I've tried to debate this dude multiple times. First off, this guy's had like 10 accounts. 10 accounts. And he just talks over you. He doesn't actually let you have any like conversating. He doesn't actually let you talk.
How am I gonna teach him?
It's not possible.
Me?
You are not Greek. You are not of pure blood. You are barbaros.
No.
No, you know why they were called barbaros? It's actually kind of funny.
But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for this stream. I mean, like I started it off with just like some casual conversations, some inquirer questions, general inquirer questions, and then an attempt at some troll debates, I guess. And then I was able to actually get into some pretty good conversations on this. As usual, the invasion went well, better than hosting. But anybody else who is in here right now that is interested, if you want to get a membership, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to be doing another lecture here soon that will be available to the members after it's uploaded. Again, like the Philosophy 101 lecture, I'm going to start doing them more often, where the live itself is going to be free for anybody who wants to watch. But then after it uploads, the members. And that's kind of how I'm gonna run. But yeah. God bless everybody. I appreciate the live. This is a really good audience again. I appreciate all the super chats, all the memberships that I got today.